Bros, One Film, your new favorite place for comedic commentary and brotherly banter on the films you love. Thank you for joining your hosts, my little brother William, and myself, Xander, as we dive deep into another movie each week. This week, we're doing Super 8, and it's going to be great. How you been this week?
Good, you know.
Tell me about your life.
It's been super cold working at McDonald's because it's been super cold in Iowa. We didn't even have work the other day because we had that ice storm.
The other day was yesterday, bro.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. Whatever, man. You know, they don't need to know the specifics. You know, they just need to know things happen. But yeah, other than that, yeah, we're watching a lot of Bar Rescue. That's pretty much it.
Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic show.
I mean, I've seen a couple episodes, but
I've never seen any of them until this month.
Recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much going on. Relapsed into World of Warcraft, not alcohol.
Oh, yeah, you got me scared there for a second. You got me.
I got you. Yeah, no, I just, I've been playing World of Warcraft the last couple of days. Classic, you know, like real G's. And been having a blast. Other than that, it's been standard ass week. Ice storm, didn't have to do nothing with. Just look at it from my window. And I don't know, yeah. So just another week, I guess. Oh, aliens are taking over. That's about it. Drones and stuff. It's been kind of interesting.
Pretty spooky.
Kind of spooky.
We might be on the verge of first contact. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So, aliens, you know, I'm all for it. If you want to wipe out our leaders, that'd be cool. Fully support the alien overlords from the ocean. You know, I'm all about it.
Yeah, could you please stop pussyfooting around? I'd really like to not have to go to work this week.
Yeah, if you're going to do something, just do it. Really stop cock teasing us with your alien invasion.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to lose interest, and then other people will, and then
I'm going to be so pissed off. You guys
event will be over, and I'll be sad.
You guys disappear for a year and then come back. I'm going to be so pissed off at you guys.
Yeah, please go full board. Just please, you're giving us the tip right now. I like the rest of it, please. Thank you. So other than that, nothing really going on. Any stats updates for us?
We hit 100 downloads.
100 downloads. Holy shit.
Yeah, Truman Show's killing it this month.
Is it?
Number one most downloaded this month.
And that's number 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Sweet. Awesomeness.
Got some viewers from Russia, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty much it. I know we have a new review on Spotify. We got another 5-star review, so up to 8 now.
I did see that. I was quite excited.
So,
and I do apologize because the audio was off. I didn't know anything about solo and mono before, or stereo and mono settings. I do now. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem this week, and we should be able to release full bore, ready to rock and roll. No problems. Hopefully. I guess we're going into the quick overview. Okay, Super 8, a mystery sci-fi coming-of-age film, came out in 2011, rated PG-13, and is 1 hour, 52 minutes long. The movie was set in 1979 in a small Ohio town following a group of young teenagers that witnessed a train derailment while filming their own movie for the Super 8 Film Festival. They had a budget of $50 million. Box office was $260 million. Written and directed by J.J. Abrams, co-produced by Steven Spielberg. So, pretty big hitters.
Yeah, J.J., did the first Star Trek, did all, I think the first 2 Star Trek films, directed them, and then Star Wars Episode 7 and 9, so.
Ugh, 7 and 9.
Well, 7's good. I like Episode 7. I like the first Star Trek movie. You don't like
Episode, 3 or something, 2.
2 is garbage.
Or 1.
2 is garbage. You haven't seen that movie in 15 years, and it shows. All right, you watch that movie with any degree of anything, it's terrible. It is.
How did you know I haven't seen it for 15 years?
Yeah, see, I knew it because you still think it's good.
Yes, it is good.
Have you watched that with any relevant, any recent?
It's probably been
It's terrible. Nothing
14 years since I've seen it.
It's like the most boring TV show you've ever seen.
Oh,
Nothing happens in that fucking movie.
I'll be the judge of that.
I would love to do Episode 2 because it fucking sucks. That movie's bad.
Anyway, the movie stars Joel Courtney. The movie stars Joel Courtney as Joe Lamb, Ellie Fanning as Alice Daynard, Riley Griffith Riley Griffiths as Charles Kesnick, Ryan Lee as Carrie, Gabriel Basso as Martin, Kyle Chandler as Deputy Jackson Lamb, and Noah Emmerich as Colonel Nellick. It had a few nominations, received a total of 70 nominations across various award ceremonies. Top two, I guess, were the 38th Saturn Awards. Super 8 received 8 nominations, including Best Science Fiction Film, Best Director J.J. Abrams, Best Writing J.J. Abrams, and Best Film Editing. It won 3 awards for Best Director, Best Performance by a Young Actor for Joel Courtney's, and Best Music, Michael Giacchino?
Oh, that guy's done a ton of stuff. That guy's like...
Giacchino?
I've heard that guy before. He's done like a ton of music.
Oh, nice. For the 17th Critics' Choice Awards, the film received 4 nominations, including Best Young Actor, Best Sound, Best Visual Effects, and Best Action Movie. So, did pretty damn well. Ready for the 6-sentence synopsis?
I have 2 of them.
You have 2 6-sentence synopses?
Yeah.
That's 12, dog. That's nice.
They both have different purposes, alright?
Alright, go ahead. Let's go.
Alright. Come on down to the Super 8 Motel. We have stranger things afoot. A loser's club to keep you entertained. A phone to phone home. And saving the best for last, Truman's best friend, Winswear.
That was all 12?
No, that's just the one. That's
okay, that's what I thought.
Alright. And then the second one is, aliens nice or horrifying? Winswear. What are these kids' names again? Winswear. Something stupid? Oh, what is it? Shit. Oh, yeah. Shift stupid grudge. Winswear. Oh, no. Don't kill my friend. Winswear. A shit ending. Winswear. I don't even know what I wrote. Winswear. That's what that movie deserves. So I'm just gonna say it now. I don't care for this movie.
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't care for this movie. This is my least favorite movie we've watched as a part of this podcast. It went down. I watched this movie back to back, and the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh meh, okay. Yes, and then the second time, because I watched it back to back because I had no time and we were gonna record that day. And I was fucking sad that I had to sit there and watch this fucking movie again. And by the second time, I was angry. By the second time, I was
I don't think
mad.
there's going to be much to talk about this movie because it's kind of straightforward and there wasn't too much there wasn't too much mystery or stuff to discuss. It was kind of straightforward, you know?
And every other movie, I described Stranger Things and The Losers Club, this movie has no original pieces to it. And all those other movies do it better.
What do you mean original pieces?
Ooh, aliens.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing stuff with...
old played out cliches is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And it's just we're doing the little group of friends solving the big mystery.
And the coming of age sort of thing.
And this group of friends sucks. I would much rather watch the kids from It or the Goonies.
Wait. Which It are we talking about here?
Either It. I would watch either It. Because the one has the new Stranger Things guy in it. And the old one, Tim Curry one's pretty good too.
The Tim Curry one's the best one. It's the only one worth talking about.
But again, I would still much rather the new It than this movie.
Yeah.
I think the new It's better than this movie, for sure. Not even a question.
Yeah.
This movie just doesn't have an identity.
I mean...
And it's very wishy-washy.
If it was made back in the 80s, this would have been the
most amazing thing ever. Because it would have been the first...
you've ever seen in your whole fucking life.
But it's not. It's 2011.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just there's a lot of mixed messages in this movie to me, where it's the alien, for example. The alien is the most overcomplicated and underwhelming design I've ever seen on anything. How do you make it look so weird and so complicated, and I don't remember anything about this thing?
Yeah. Now
If I asked you to draw a picture of this thing right now?
I know it'd be big and have maybe 6 extremities.
It looks like it has watermelons on its face.
I can't remember how it's
just.
I'd draw an ant if I had to, an ant's head.
Yeah,
that's about the only.
It has little. But see, here's my thing, because they want you to feel bad for this thing with that little video with
the doctor's testing on it.
But we've seen this thing massacre people. Like, it just stomps people and stuff. You can't be E.T. in a fucking Demogorgon, all right? It just doesn't work like that. You got to pick your lane. If you want us to root for the alien, like maybe if he was just killing,
it's like trying to be a Mogwai and a Gremlin at the same time.
Yeah, you just can't do it. You just can't do it. So it's like that movie. It just feels very mixed in that messaging of like, do I like? Even there's that weird moment where we've seen this thing take out the sheriff and the weird woman and down in the hole, and then all of a sudden the kid gives this beautiful little speech, this beautiful heart-to-heart between a human, a child, and an alien. And it doesn't kill them, but it just killed 2 people, but it doesn't kill the boy because of his words and its feeling, because it is a empathic creature. Fuck off. I hate that shit. It's fucking, that thing has killed dozens of people. This thing is like John Wayne Gacy as a fucking alien. It would murder that guy. Fuck this movie. That's one of the parts of this movie where I'm like totally disconnected. I'm unplugged from the Matrix. I fucking hate you. You were a waste of money and talent and time. This is the best J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg could come with. Get the fuck out of here. Whacks on this movie.
Yeah.
Whacks. This movie sucks. This movie's bad.
I mean, may not be as passionate as you on this, but I'm picking up what you're putting down, smelling what you're stepping in right there. Yeah, so. Well, I'm almost afraid to do my 6-sentence synopsis at this point because there's nothing. So, my second 6-sentence synopsis, I guess. Motherless child and friends try to make a movie for a film festival. Train wrecks while filming a scene using train for production value. Creature escapes and strange things happen around town. Boy falls in love with girl, girl falls in love with boy. Dads unite to find friends. Creature escapes and all is well. That's it. That's how I thought of the movie, just kind of straightforward, and that's it. That's the movie.
Yeah, it's really.
That's the movie.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
Also, before we get deep into this,
there's nothing deep to get into. That it's the whole movie's surface level.
And it's very deep as a puddle. But like Truman's best friend is in this movie. The general guy?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. I was making sure. I'm like, because I sat there.
I have it in the notes like Truman's homie.
I'm like, it took me a while. I'm like, wait, fuck, that's the dude from Truman. It was weird though. I was like, no, that can't be him. That's just me tripping. And I'm like, no shit.
He was doing good back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
He had a huge gap in his career. It seems like it's like he did this movie and Truman. And I'm like, ooh,
ready for this analysis and commentary?
Yeah.
The AC portion of the show. Cue the awesome music. Opening scene. We see a worker in Lillian Metal Factory. The 784 days have gone by without an accident, and the guy's taking the numbers down and replacing them with a 1. So it goes to everyone is at a wake in a house. They've been talking about the person who died in the accident, and if Jackson or Jack, Joe's dad, can step up and be there for him. They're all looking out at the kid by himself, who's Joe, on the swing. And the kids are talking inside, Joe's friends. And Charles is worried that Joe won't want to be in his movie that he's working on anymore because, it's about zombies and his mom just died and got crushed by a steel beam, I think was mentioned at this point. So it's kind of tragic and terrible.
Okay, this is where we need to talk about this. This whole thing is fucking stupid. The whole way she's killed off screen and blaming Alice's dad because he got too drunk and didn't show up, that's stupid. And that's the reason why they don't show
the whole
this.
Premise of the beginning of it seems how is that, come on.
That's not his fault.
It's not his fault. You can make the stretch. I can see where, they're trying to make that connection, but it just doesn't land in this at all.
If he was the one doing the steel beam and then it fell off and it was an accident.
If it was him behind, operating the fucking crane or whatever that was moving it, I could see this whole story working.
Yeah, because then you could even be manslaughter, bare minimum. You know what I mean?
Or if he was hungover and drunk. I have it written in the notes, somewhere.
But the way it's currently set up, he's not even there. He's not even in the building.
I was hungover at home, and I called in to work, and somebody died instead of me. Like, who said that was even gonna happen? That's just like, you don't even there's so many variables that like go down. Like, that chick could have bumped into the worker in the locker room before the shift even happened and threw off the whole fucking day. Like, you know, it just, I don't know.
Like, usually I'm kind of supportive of this way of, like, getting a thing that happened across where we don't have to see. But in this situation, I think they do it because it would be so obvious that Alice's dad has no guilt because he wouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
He's at home, hungover.
Maybe he wouldn't even be stationed in the same fucking place as she would. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid, but it's a huge crutch of this movie. It's a giant, it's like, why does the dad...
They do lead on it.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be something much, like, deeper. I wrote the notes, like, the first time watching it through, because I hadn't really seen this before. Like, I've seen it once, but it was so long ago, I don't remember. I don't know. So, rewatching it, I was right now like, oh, you know, suspecting maybe this and that. And so you'll see where, like, my mind kind of was going, but it was nowhere near where it was supposed to be because it was, like, it had to be more tragic than this, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like, that's it? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know, the kids inside worried that, or Charles is inside and his buddies are worried that Joe won't be part of the movie because mom just got killed by so-and-so at work. So we're, like, outside and we see Joe on the swinging. This dude pulls up in some little, like, muscle car looking thing. He kind of seems like a deadbeat and goes inside, and within seconds you hear a bunch of ruckus and the guy is getting taken out and put in a squad car by Joe's dad. Tells Joe that he'll be home soon and rushes off with his lights on. Like, once you get the perp in the car driving off, you don't have your lights on.
And also, like, what a dick move, because, like, again, we just went over why he's mad at him.
Yeah, so now that we know.
It's just such a shitty...
It's so ridiculous. It's like a little reaction, like, you called into work, now you're going to jail. Like, oh, are you fucking serious? Like,
yeah.
So what was that even about? Like, unless it's something else. Like, it's so terrible.
Yeah, it just... It's overkill. It's just completely overkill. This guy has, like, I'm always like, if I was this guy's counselor, Alice's dad would be like, dude, don't feel bad. This had nothing to do with you, man. Fuck this other guy.
Yeah, right?
Like, you were trying to be a good guy there, and he was being a dick.
Like, you called off work so you didn't operate heavy machinery while in hospital.
And get more people killed.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. So, like, you did extra good. Cuts to 4 months later. It seems to be the last day of school because winter was winter in that last scene. So they're all walking and talking about the movie that Charles is making, and some such happened. And Charles asked Alice Daynard to be in the movie. Like, something went down, and so Charles talked about how he asked Alice to be in this movie of his, and she can drive, which is cool. And Joe and Charles. So then, I don't know, they're just kind of doing a walk and talk, and that's what we got out of that little walk and talk. It goes to Joe and Charles, or in Charles's room, and it's a mess. And they're watching some awesome zombie murder scene that Charles shot with his little friend with the braces. What's his name? Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie, I think.
I got some shit to say about that guy.
And like, the scene looked pretty fucking sweet. It was awesome. But he's tweaking because he's entering that film festival, and the older kids are going to be competing in it. While the scene's cool, it still needs a story. And so they got to get that Alice chick to be in the movie, so the character has a wife, and there's a love kind of connection there. People react more to that, chemistry on the screen. So, like, Joe's leaving Charles's house of chaos. Like, it's just a bunch of shit going on everywhere behind him. Family, like, little brothers and sisters and shit going off. It's crazy. Like, Charles has quite the household and family. So Joe's leaving his house, and Charles' dad's like, you're always welcome in our house, blah, blah, blah. Mom's always like, you're always welcome. So we just kind of get to see their level of friendship and how close they live to each other, just like right across the street. Joe gets home, hearing something about 3 Mile Island on the TV as he's walking in the door, and catches his dad crying in the bathroom. And shit, like, I would be too if you just lost your baby mama like 4 months before that. Yeah, I would be too. So, I'm just saying. He goes to them in some restaurant, and his dad's trying to send him off to some 6-week baseball camp so he's around kids his age that aren't running around with cameras, wearing monster makeup and such.
Dick move, right?
Yeah, that's like
fuck
fucking,
you. Yeah,
yeah, like
what
especially he's like self-sufficient back in those days. Like, just hey, have a good summer with your friends. It's been a rough year. Fucking live it up, bud. You know, let me know what you need, dog. Let me know what you need. Like,
not forcing him to do baseball. Well,
yeah, like he has clearly he has zero interest in it. Like all that shit in up his room, I didn't see one fucking baseball glove or a baseball card on the wall or something. Nothing. You know, get the fuck out of here. He's a super nerd kid. He's awesome.
The only thing he said right in that whole little moment was like that Cody kid. Like, I don't like
Carrie kid.
Carrie. I don't like Carrie because he's starting fires and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, that. You know what? You get that one.
Yeah.
You get that.
Okay.
I don't like Carrie. Carrie is a fucking idiot. This whole movie. He's always doing stupid ass shit.
Oh, kind of like Ed did all throughout Shaun of the Dead, and you didn't seem to mind that as much as I did.
This movie's supposed to be more serious. This movie isn't.
Carrie didn't bother me too much.
It's sci-fi. This is psychological.
One monster compared to an entire zombie outbreak.
Yeah, but come on. This one monster's invulnerable to everything. It can literally...
Zombies literally came from the grave dump.
Dude, this thing can shoot weapons, cause weapons to malfunction for seemingly no reason, because we never know what this alien's powers is.
One against millions, maybe even billions of zombies. I don't know. I think I would call zombie outbreak a little worse situation.
This thing is like an invulnerable...
If you're not in its immediate vicinity, you ain't got to worry about it. Everyone has to worry about zombies. Mm-hmm. I win.
This guy. You should use 28 Days Later or World War Z zombies. Like, come on, man.
Everyone's dead then. So, Joe wants to stay and help Charles finish his movie. Dad says he likes Joe's friends except for Carrie, who won't stop lighting things on fire. Then insists that Joe will light the camp, and it's what they both need right now. We see Joe holding something in his hand. It's that pendant now that I know after writing the rest of the notes. It goes to Joe in his room. My note says, Joe's to Joe in his room. No, goes to Joe in his room. Painting action figures. Doesn't seem like the type of kid that would like to go on a baseball camp. Just saying. More like a nerd retreat. You know, would be more up his alley, or like some Comic-Con or something. Joe gets a call on his walkie that it's time. So it goes to him with his friends singing My Sharona when a car pulls up. Thought it was the guy that got arrested in the car earlier. Maybe it is, but oh yeah. See, I wrote the notes my first time through, so I had no idea what was going on. So we think, oh, is it that car? And we see it's Alice, and she's all kinds of tripping on Charles because Joe's there, the cop's kid, and she doesn't have a license.
And I love Alice's presence. Like at this scene, like she really kind of just takes the screen.
She does.
I love her acting.
I think she makes the whole movie, honestly. Yeah. Like, her acting, like, she's
fantastic.
Yeah, she's great. Kind of lazy to believe that she's that guy earlier that got arrested, his kid, obviously, the same vehicle daughter. We know. So, Joe tells her that she could trust him, after all the cold glares and shit that she's, then after, like, a cold glare, she tells him to get in. So, they're riding to the film location. They're discussing the movie shot. Charles asking Alice if she can cry. And she's like, nah, I can't cry. On cue and shit like that. And Joe's all up in the back seat, all types of enamored with Alice, just like listening to everything she's saying and all that stuff. When Charles and he was all freaking out on her, about her in Charles's room too. So just kind of foreshadowed to a small situation later. They get to the location, and it's an old tiny like train station right next to some tracks. Charles is running around, being super director, delegating tasks, changing lines up on people, doing the whole thing. Joe's responsible for set makeup. So he's over there applying makeup to Alice, and he's all about to melt. Like, and then we see a crazy lens flare, the J.J. Abrams effect, when she all of a sudden says, my father works at the mill,
And he wasn't there that day.
And he wasn't even there that day. So,
what the fuck?
When I'm first watching this, I have what I was thinking, I'm thinking right now that her daddy was the one that got his mama killed because he was like drunk or like hungover in some other way, intoxicated, responsible for his mother's death. That's what we're thinking right here.
It's just weird that even she's on the side of Charles.
I know.
Like, what did this dad do To get cursed by the devil.
Other than to get, like,
universe.
demonized and ostracized by the town. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I was not even there, man.
I was like, got called in, dog. Like, all right. They get in position for rehearsal shot. Martin and Alice are talking. Joe walks in background to talk on the phone. And he just picks it up and starts moving his mouth. It's like a horrible background acting. Just so bad.
Also, talking about shitty actors, Martin sucks.
Martin's terrible.
And I'm like, why? It's wild to me. And I wrote this, like, everybody else in this little shot is busting ass for this little short film. It's kind of very endearing. But then Martin just sucks. So it's
he just switched up Martin's lines on him.
But yeah, but come on. Martin doesn't have that
wasn't like he was really
moment
killing it.
Ever. He never has that pop-off moment, you know? Where I'm like, ooh, everybody buy what he's selling.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. It's just his delivery was just not there.
Hey guys, I am here.
I am reciting my lines, not in a terrible way, but in a
Alice
very
out there
good
giving
way.
out Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah, like goddamn. If I didn't know what award you'd give him, I'd like this should be an award. So the scene starts, and Martin can't remember simple ass lines that he has, and is doing a terrible acting job. Alice delivers lines like she's a seasoned actress that like knows exactly what the fuck she's doing, acting like she doesn't know how to act when she does know how to act, but she really, or she's acting like she knows how to act when she doesn't know how to act when she really does know how to act. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't.
I think I got it.
You're fibbing because it doesn't make any sense, but it makes total sense. But she's just like a boss bitch, period. Like just killing it all around, like for acting in the movie acting and then acting for the movie acting. Like either, I don't know. It blows my mind even trying to talk about it. This little lady fucking just went out there and did it. Killed it.
Awesome.
She should have got an award. Did she get an award? No, the kid got the award, didn't he?
Yeah, Joe, I think.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's not that good.
What did you even do?
He's not that good, yeah.
Nah, fuck that. I want to do a Kanye get up on stage. Nah, my girl over here did it. She fucking killed it. No, fuck this kid. Nah, fuck that. That's bullshit. Like, cause, it was the Joe kid.
Yeah, and he has a couple stinker lines in there, too. Like, there's a couple of them like that.
Just what? She even had like a crying scene later and stuff. She killed it. Nope. Fuck that.
Also, you know who else sucks? Corey for not putting the film in.
Carrie.
You
say it wrong one more time. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm going to bitch about it again.
Have his name spelled right or said right anyway. He should have put the film in. All this went for naught. She sucks.
Her performance on the rehearsal got everyone all shocked and odd. Joe in the background, head not even like out on the phone anymore. Martin's stunned when asking how she did. Charles was like at a loss for words, something like he clearly doesn't do often because that dude's never shuts the fuck up and is always just bossing everybody around. She did an epic ass performance. Then all of a sudden they see some lights of a train coming. And Charles screams, production value. And they all scramble to get in the costume and set up the shot for reals this time instead of rehearsal. And the train's passing by and the shot looks and seems like it would be dope as fuck.
Or you can't hear anything because there's a train.
Yeah, there's a train there.
There's no way.
They're like, speak up here. Just like talk louder. Nah, you'd be like screaming at the top of your voice so you wouldn't have any like actual,
Get the fuck
especially
out of
like the fucking microphones they were using. Nothing.
You would have to dub that over. You can't use that on.
And then, you got lens flares popping off everywhere, just all over the fucking place. Like, just.
Lens flare. Lens flare. Live recording from J.J. Abrams' trailer during the making of this movie.
Post-production just...
lens flare.
So, they see the truck driving on the track. Joe shouts, look at protection value. Lens flares popping off everywhere. Right as the shot was really getting good, Joe notices some headlights come up over the hill across the tracks and sees that it's a truck driving onto the tracks and right towards the train. Joe shouts, look out to everyone. Charles starts tripping, like, why the fuck you ruining this great shot? And then boom, collision. And cue awesome wreck sequence, kind of. I thought it was kind of decent.
We need to talk about this whole fucking bullshit train operation, alright? One, Woodward's dead. All right, you don't have this fucking giant fireball of death, and the guy somehow just walks that off like Iron Man. And then there's no way this pickup truck was not going like full speed. Rams into a train and takes that out.
And like derails it in such a dramatic fashion. Where cars are flying through the air and shit like that. Yeah,
and this is a man of science. Is the last time I checked, Woodward being like some super sophisticated area. This is the best plan he came up with.
Yeah,
to derail.
There's no way you can derail the train. Like it would just obliterate it. I'm on a subreddit called "Bitch I'm a Train." Like it's like "Bitch I'm a Train."
I was like, no
it
way.
takes out everything.
Yeah,
there's like whole semis that just obliterated when a train's going like 10 miles an hour. Like I don't know the math, but it's extreme how much force a train has, especially a longer one filled with a lot of shit. It's just,
You guys ever try to derail a train in GTA 5? That shit's impossible. Get the fuck.
Is it
possible, it's really. I think maybe you have to do a lot. I think you have to like get a bunch of. It's an operation to do it.
Okay, well, like
it's like a force of God.
Possible, but like you're not just doing it willy nilly by running your vehicle into it.
And then another thing with this train, why is the military transporting this thing, what seems invulnerable to just everything, and this is a nuclear bomb on steroids?
Yeah, where were they going with it?
Why would you move it? That's my question. Why would you ever move this? This thing is such a security risk.
We have to have a more secure facility to move it to, but in order to do that, we got to move it out of our secure facility.
And put it on a fucking train?
On a secure train.
What, a pickup truck, a Chevy F-150, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A pickup truck took out. This is stupid. This whole train thing is fucking stupid.
Okay, now you point that out. I didn't even think of that, but yeah.
And this is a huge crux of this is how the whole thing kicks off, and it's dumb.
Yeah, they kind of, I'm like, you'd think these visionaries would be like, hey bros, our story's kind of weak. Send it back to the writing room.
I think, no, this really felt like a first draft to me. It felt like, oh, this is a good nugget of an idea.
Yeah,
we should reform this.
Let's
make it all kind of work together more. And it's just like, there's just kind of these things.
Let's make her dad actually kill dude's mom.
Like, to me, this movie is like a sandwich. And it's like, you like a hamburger, right? You like American cheese. You like those together. But then you throw like pineapple in there. And you're like, well, that's kind of gross. I like pineapple.
If you do bacon and barbecue with it.
Oh my God. Get out of here, chef. Get out of here. Get out of here. This is my metaphor. But you come into my metaphor and bust. I'm just trying to say there's a lot of elements that are good in theory, but when you put them all together, it sucks. Like, you got too many ingredients.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's just sloppy and unappealing, yeah.
And again, this is J.J. Abrams and fucking Steven Spielberg.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you think these visionaries would have been fucking, like, hey, buds, let's, we participated
Jurassic
in some
Park,
of the greatest goddamn things
Saving
ever.
Private Ryan.
I need you guys to write a little better than that.
E.T., like...
But they didn't stop it and say it, so now they're just as bad.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bros. If our Iowan... Nobody asked and call you out. Like, y'all should have figured that out way beforehand, dude.
Yeah. I watched this movie twice, back to back, and it was hell.
I've seen it once and like a half. I probably won't be watching it again.
Oh, no. This is one of those... And that's the biggest insult I think you can give to a movie, where it's like, I don't even want to show this to other people.
Oh, damn. That is kind of heavy. And I'm like, I'm not going to go and tell anybody, like, oh, yeah, I watched this movie and it was great. Like, you know...
I've already forgotten about it.
Came out, what? You know, fucking... 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, just it can stay there 13 years ago. Anyway, so crazy fucking wreck, which looked cool, but is totally not like legit at all.
And also with this fucking train wreck, nobody's injured.
Right?
Nobody
Seriously injured?
And
like a broken arm, leg,
a scratch,
more blood,
a cut,
something.
A sprained ankle.
Especially those two that were like crawling up underneath the fucking building that first time. They're like, they should have been squashed underneath that station. Like, I have it right there in the notes. Yep, two of them. Looked like they should have got squashed. I'm just saying they should have been squashed.
Also, the car,
they should have
totally fine and can drive out of there. And and there's just like, and I think this is preposterous.
They didn't drive over anything that was like gonna fucking tear a tire or nothing.
But, like, this is the way this, like, the train, like, it looks like a Mad Max scene by the end of this whole train wreck. And don't get me wrong, trains can be miles and miles long.
Yeah.
But would it really get stacked up like the way it did, where it seems like it's almost like a dome?
If it was traveling at, like, some extreme speed, like 100 miles an hour, and then hit some, like, immovable object. Like,
not an F-150 pickup?
Yeah. I'm talking, like, another train stacked with a fuck ton of, like, something heavy, like lead. And then it would crash like that. But maybe 200 miles an hour, like a bullet train.
Yeah.
Then we'd get, I think, those results. But not this. So, everyone's fine. After this whole wreck goes down.
Carrie's having a field day with the wreckage.
Yeah, he's loving it.
Yeah.
So, everyone's running and screaming. Like, Carl's is fine. Charles is running, screaming, I don't want to die. One landed right in front of Joe with explosives in it. And he noticed and dodged and ducked. While he was ducking, after what seemed like the train was, like, done crashing, he hears a loud banging from one of the cars. And it's rocking back and forth and everything while it's banging coming from inside. And we see Joe stand up and clutching that necklace locket of his mama's in his hand. When whatever was in the car bursts out the side, top of the car, and we don't see nothing. It's
Alien blue balls.
Alien blue balls.
Yeah, alien blue balls. I'm like, oh, cool, we're gonna see something dope. I gotta cut the camera.
You gotta do the whole.
I gotta look over here.
You gotta do the whole, horror build-up thing. You can't just reveal the monster in the first scene.
Well, no, but they do it throughout the whole fucking movie. It's like they're doing this whole cutaway thing.
Yep.
Like an hour and a half.
Because they gotta make it dramatic for their shit alien.
Yeah, and he looks like ass anyway. It's not like a xenomorph or a revolutionary.
Don't look at our shitty alien, okay?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have much budget to work with. They screwed us. And we spent too much money on lens flares, There's just so many lens flares.
Now we have this fucking piece of shit, goobity gop, what nobody's gonna remember fucking 30 years from now.
So,
let alone 13.
So Joe goes to find the others. He asks if they've seen Alice, of course, like, hey, my friends that I've known forever, my new love interest, where's she? Are you guys okay? No, fuck you guys. Like, where's my lady? When they see a piece of wreckage with blood all over it, they all of a sudden thinking it was Alice. When she walks up, like, what's up with all the blood? And Joe shows a flood of relief on his face and goes to reach under it and was like, oh, it's my fake blood from my props kit. So, funny.
So funny.
They're looking around and they find a bunch of these little Rubik's Cube looking metal cubes.
Oh my god. The cool cubes what really don't come back or add anything else. Hopefully we won't spend a lot of screen time watching them jiggle and shake, waiting for them to become important in any way, shape, or form.
They do become kind of important.
Yeah, really, super important.
It's the way the alien gets away.
Is it though? Like he has one of those cubes and then he just
hundreds
steals.
of them?
Does he have hundreds of them?
Okay.
I just think they...
Well, I'll explain it out as we go through the movie then, I guess, because you missed...
I don't think that really... I think for the amount of screen time, and I didn't know what this movie was really going to be about. I didn't know it was going to be about an alien. I thought it was going to be almost like a Chronicle thing, where these kids get, superpowers, and they're the Super 8.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Chronicle. That's great.
So I thought, the cubes were going to give them those powers or whatever, and then they end up just being... building material for this alien we get 2 minutes of screen time with.
I kind of like the concept.
Don't really understand.
I like that.
I just expected them to
little
be
cubes that build a ship. I kind of like that. I kind of like it.
It's a cool.
It's like a Lego ship.
It's like a cool idea, but it just doesn't. I thought it was gonna be something more important. I thought it was gonna actually have be like a MacGuffin for the film. And it really doesn't.
It's gonna be like this cube. These cubes build a gateway to get us through someplace else to give us,
or to defeat the alien with their own tech, or anything. They're nothing.
It's just a ship. It just fell apart.
And then they get sucked through the wall, and that's it.
So they're walking through the wreckage, and Martin says that these accidents are extremely rare. Joe says it wasn't an accident; it was a truck on the tracks. And they find the truck, and they see this dude in the truck dead. What they think is dead. They recognize him as Dr. Woodward, some biology teacher that they had in high school, right? Or in their little fucking junior high, whatever the fuck they're in. Yeah, okay. And Alice goes to check him and touches his arm, and it falls, and they find a map that was in his hand, and it had the train's route drawn on it. And while they're going over it, comes to, or the doctor comes to, and while Charles was talking to him, he whips out a gun and tells them to leave or that he'll kill them and their parents. And then he shouts, "Go!" at them. They see a bunch of people coming with flashlights and such, the military, and they scramble to grab what they can and hop in Alice's car and get away. We see the army guy, Truman's bestie Marlin, Noah Emmerich, which in this movie his name is Nellick. You see him pick up one of their film boxes, like empty boxes of film.
And also, why would you need the plates for this car? It's like a bright yellow muscle car in a town of 20,000 people? There can't be that many yellow muscle cars with that specific design.
I'm still sure it wouldn't hurt to get an exact address. You don't have to spend time people, driving around looking for a car in a fucking driveway.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's that big of a fine. I don't think it...
Well, what? The car could just go park in a fucking garage somewhere and then it's gone forever. You wouldn't know.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I gotta throw this in here at some point because I probably should have said this earlier. But there's this part where they're like, what do you call it? How could a pickup truck derail a train? One of them say that.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Well, obviously it's possible because it happened in the movie. Get fucked. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Hey, JJ, I want you to shove that dildo up your asshole, all right? Because go fuck yourself. That's bullshit. That's stupid. And you treat your audience like we're children. Go fuck yourself. I hate that. And they do it multiple times throughout this movie. I guess it happens. I guess it makes sense.
Well, what's this movie kind of geared towards? PG. It's PG, isn't it?
I don't know. Why waste your time?
It is geared towards children.
You want to get so many breaths on this earth, and you decide to spend your time making this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes to them all in the car. And they're all tripping about what just happened. Alice says, "Nobody can find out." Joe makes sure to tell everybody that nobody will say anything. Alice drops them off and hands Joe the cube she picked up and drives off. One of the little metal cube, things. It goes to Joe in the tub with the cube, thinking, and we see an outside shot of the neighborhood and the lights are all blowing out. Predictive programming for what's happening right now. Weird in the real world, just saying. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know. But if you know, you know. Goes to the next morning. Jack comes up and wakes up Joe to tell him to feed the dog and whatnot for the day. While he's talking to Joe, the metal cube is vibrating on the desk and doing weird shit. They don't notice it. More
getting you prepped for that big moment when that thing becomes important. Really hyping it up.
And I don't know, I would have noticed that thing rumbling over there on the fucking desk is when he zooms in on it, it's moving quite significantly. I feel like we would ever turn their head in the whole goddamn room and what the fuck's going on over there? But no, apparently they don't notice that. Joe heads over to Charles' house and finds Charles watching the news on the train wreck. So the news anchor is saying how the military is in control, which makes it more of a mystery. Why does the military handle this and not county officials and shit? Joe sits next to Charles and Charles says, "Can you believe this?" And Joe goes, "No." And Charles says, "It's on the news, so you know it's real." Again, that's kind of what J.J. Abrams was just doing with the other thing. Just kind of oh, it's on the TV, so it's got to be real.
And also, it's pretty creepy how this happened in Ohio, and that's where the East Palestine big-ass train wreck happened.
Yeah.
Decade later.
So, but they were trying to say so what happened last night was real, that's what they're alluding to, not that the news is real, or both. The news lady says Air Force medical flew out Dr. Woodward. Joe says it's like a disaster movie, and Charles thinks it's a brilliant idea. And Joe goes you want to go back out to the wreck? And Charles is that's perfect. Great thinking, Let's get the camera fixed and film developed, and then I'm going to go steal some money from my mom. To go pay for that shit. It's kind of funny. It goes to Joe and Charles heading to the store to get the film developed and to get the camera looked at. On their way to see if any of the film is usable or they're gonna make it a disaster movie. They are talking about new scenes and if Alice would come back to film them. Joe's "I bet you will." And at the store, Charles finds out the camera's fucked and sends the film off to be developed. It's going to take about 3 days. Joe's calling Alice to see if she'd be into the new scenes, and she says no. And Joe says he'll be over in just a second to talk to her. And then she gets over there, and she tells him no again. And I don't know why you guys would be trying to make the movie still and all that stuff when her daddy pull up and asks, what's Joe doing there? Alice tells him that Joe was just inviting her to a party. Her dad tells Joe that she's not going to the party and that he needs to go and he should never come back. And told Allie to come in the house.
And they never. And then how many times in the history of parenting has this ever worked on a teenager?
Never.
And what a creative and smart plot line J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg. Never saw this one before.
Yep.
Really blowing my mind with this Inception level cliche. Yeah.
Common movie trope.
Common movie tropes.
We gotta echo it. Tropes.
You have a little button.
Yeah, well, I'll get one working as soon as I get upgrades rocking one of these days. Joe's sitting on the porch damn, because she goes in the house with Daddy. When Alice kind of sticks her face back in the doorway through the screen and says, I'll do it. So it goes to the crew on a hill overlooking the crash site, which is kind of a cool shot, I'm not going to lie. And they're filming a shot for the movie. Charles cuts and is very pleased with the shot. Wants another angle, though. And they're resetting, and Joe and Alice are talking, trying to figure out why dude wrecked the train. Joe goes and takes the camera from Charles and starts filming just the crash site. There's a dope shot of them standing on the hill, and the camera's behind them, like our camera in real life, I guess, in the movie. Hard to talk about, but...
Yeah, camera.
Yeah, them standing on it. It looks just a cool shot. It goes to them all at a diner eating, talking, and Joe tells them all that it was an Air Force train. He knows this because he makes models, and they have these little things for hooks to get onto so they can lift the containers on and off ships.
Two of my favorite lines during this whole little sequence: "Shut up, math camp," like when one of them called the other one nerdy for paying camp, or paying train.
Oh, yeah.
And then another one was, "No one likes coffee," which is true.
I'm drinking coffee right now.
Old man.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's not as good as my other batch. I made it a little too strong, so it's a little bitter, but I put a little salt on there. It's all right, but it's just, man, I had the right ratio going all last week, and I fucked it up.
You know what's great about Diet Coke and Mountain Dew? Always the same ratio.
Terrible.
Always cold.
Terrible.
Beautiful.
Enjoy your aspartame.
Yeah, I'll enjoy it every single day until the day I die.
Mm-hmm, because your fucking brain's going to keep melting every day of the day you die.
Hey, I had a good one,
Could have been better.
Jesus. Oh, okay,
Roaster. We're at the crash site, and we see troops gathering and picking up those metal cubes.
Metal cubes of awesome power, what will totally come back in this movie as an important, pivotal thing, as obviously we wouldn't spend this much screen time on something that's only worth one line of dialogue.
It's the way home. Anyway, and cubes into crates and loading them into these red semi-trailers. Joe's dad is talking with Nellick and wants to know if there was anything on the train the people of Lillian should know about, and he wants to see the manifest of the train, what the train was carrying, and Nellick tells him no.
And this is where I'm like, who's in power here? Do you feel in charge? He's a deputy of some small poke town.
Deputy.
Get the fuck out.
So they're talking like he's part of the government or something like that.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know some friends in Washington. No, you don't.
Get out of here,
You're out
man.
in the middle of fucking nowhere.
You don't know shit. Like, I'd be like, get him off this site. Like,
who allowed this joke on the seat? Like,
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this guy has no real. You have no authority. You have no jurisdiction. Get the fuck out of here. No reason
being here. You'd be like every other Joe Schmo sitting there like behind the tape wondering what the fuck's going on over there.
Yeah, this is preposterous. Also, fucking General Truman friend says there are no dangerous weapons on this train. Marlon's still gaslighting us, man. Still fucking doing it. Every movie this man plays.
True. So Jack sees, some of the troops taking a mold of some tire tracks. And when I first watched it through, I did not notice that was going on. I did not see that. I had to go back like a couple times. Like, what the fuck is he looking at so hard? It was like you see some guy just holding a piece of white thing next to some other dudes. I'm like, it didn't clearly show. I don't think it was tire molds. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. it goes to Jack talking to the sheriff. He's back at the station talking to the sheriff, explaining what he saw and how he was denied information. Sheriff tells him the Air Force has control and there's nothing that he can do. So stop tripping and go take a break. It's been a rough few months since what happened, and it's time maybe we just chill and have a vacation. Just being some fucking lazy piece of shit sheriff. Anyway, it goes to later, and the sheriff is getting gas at a gas station, and after getting a candy bar, refusing to try a Walkman because it's the downfall of that generation of children.
No, I love the line he says over. It's like, it's a slippery slope, and I just think of smartphones. Like, you're kind of right. You're kind of right.
Yeah, it kind of was. It just led to one thing: getting us used to something in our hand all the time.
Yeah. That was because the Walkman is kind of the precursor.
Yeah, I guess so. Because it was, the iPod was like the beginning of having stuff to do in your pocket, and then stuff to enjoy. Yeah. Anyway, goes to so he's getting gas and shit, and he's outside by his car at the pumps, and a pack of dogs just runs by him, and he's all bewildered by that. And then his car starts flashing his lights and sirens, does a little wop wop, and radio's all tweaking. And you hear sounds like electrical humming and this dinging sound that just won't stop dinging. Quite annoying. And when the dinging stops, a dumpster gets pushed across the parking lot and something comes across after the sheriff, the Mazda. From inside the store, we see the squad car getting mangled and we hear the sheriff scream and shit. But the clerk's listening to that Walkman, so he doesn't hear.
And I love this cliche in movies. I have been shitting on a lot. I'm a sucker for when the guys has something like headphones on, and there's just some epic battle or something big happening in the background. He has no clue.
Just totally chilling, having a great time, just listening to music.
And then we get Alien Blue Balled again. We don't get to see the alien here, which is really cool.
We got Blue Ball by aliens and signs all day.
Yeah, but that was a suspenseful movie.
And they did it right. They did it.
Yeah.
It made me creeped out. I was scared.
Remember the first time we see this alien? Remember how creeped out?
I felt nothing.
You felt nothing.
Nothing.
Stephen Hawking has more feeling in his legs than you did when you saw this fucking alien.
He's still alive?
No, he's dead.
Okay.
But when he was alive...
I was really impressed all of a sudden.
Yeah. But when he is alive... you have more feeling.
It's I don't think he has any feeling in his legs, really, really this time.
Yeah. Well, either way, I guess he didn't.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to hell.
Yeah.
He eventually notices and goes outside to see the damage. When something growls and attacks him, he screams and runs aside, and then the beast bursts through the glass and drives him off. Next, we go to the crew at one of their houses, setting up for another scene of the movie. Joe's applying zombie makeup to Alice's face, and she's wearing bright red lipstick. Charles and Carrie want to blow up one of Joe's model's trains for a shot.
Of course, Carrie wants to fucking blow up.
Oh yeah, that's his character. That's what he's there to do.
Oh, I like this guy.
It's been established.
It's been established. We have gotten your word, Senator Townsend.
I was thinking it was established that the fire, he likes fire, but then it did just time right to respond to what you said. So it kind of has that had a twofer meaning right there.
We have your, we know how you feel about the situation.
Yeah. And Joe reluctantly says yes to blow up the train. The lights flicker, and you hear that it's the third time that day that the lights were flickering off and on from, the guys talking in the background. Joe continues talking with Alice, and she wants to know how zombies act. And so he describes it like their English teacher, only hungry for human flesh. When she tries it out, she gets real close to him, acting like she's about to take a bite from his neck, then giggles and walks off. And you see some red lipstick still stuck on his neck.
Also, Alice crushing the scene, playing a zombie, super freaky and super scary.
What she did, it was just still for a second. I'm I'm kind of creeped out. Watching it. I watched it during the day. I'm an adult at home during the day, and I was all right, move, bitch, you're creeping me out. That whole freeze thing creeps me out in any sort of scene or horror than anything else, because what's it doing? What's it about to do? What is it thinking? Is it thinking? I don't know. Every time I see just frozen or just eyes following you, that shit gets you.
Yeah.
It gets me at least.
But again, she's just the LeBron James of acting of this movie.
Oh, yeah, she fucking just dunking on fools, just just ain't got no time for nobody else's business. I'll tell you what. So that scene was a whole scene there. I think Charles noticed. Did Charles notice? Yeah, Charles noticed.
Yeah, he definitely noticed. Yeah, he saw something.
Oh, I do have it right there.
Yeah.
So he's all like standing there shook froze because, he's feeling some type of things. And Charles noticed. Now we're at next scene. And Jack's checking out the gas station that the sheriff just got, fucked up at. He's looking through what's left of the scene. The squad car was gone. And he finds a sheriff's gun, or what looks like to be the sheriff's gun. He pulls out his radio and asks if the sheriff turned up yet that day, and the dispatcher said no, and he asked for an APB out for the sheriff, and the lady tells him that they've been getting all kinds of strange calls today, and he asks, what kind of strange calls? And he goes to him at a car lot, and all the engines were gone from the cars.
And this is stupid. Why? Okay, it's like the idea of this alien, because it's like, I don't think there's holes under these cars, right? There isn't massive gaping tunnels. Yeah. So the alien crawls under the engine and somehow
no, it mentally disassembles it piece by piece and then just slides it from underneath the gap of the car. Totally, duh.
Are you just putting that in there, or
no? That's how
do we know
happens,
that?
William.
You 100% know this?
Yeah, of course.
You would put your wife on this?
Twice.
Because I never see that. I never know. Because later on they talk about that woman's I have 24 microwaves stolen. So is he not stealing the fridges? All my electronics were gone. Why would he only steal
stuff that's in a microwave to create a microwave?
Come on, man.
Fuel inverter.
The logic of this fucking alien makes no sense. Because
I don't know. He just needs spare parts. The aliens in District 9 take spare parts from all kinds of different shit.
Yeah, but we see them doing it with their hands.
And that's totally legit. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But this alien's this weirdo spider.
This mamby-pamby fucking for kids shit stain.
Is it alien. For kids though? Because we see dudes get their skulls crushed. And
it is kind of bloody, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's pretty dark.
I don't think they knew what they wanted with this
flares can blind you. So who wants to blind children?
And we see Wood, the doctor, the middle school guy, I'll fucking shoot you. We'll fucking gun you down.
We'll be kind of traumatic with each other. Isn't that not their teacher? You're saying my biology teacher could do this to me?
I wanted to be a scientist when I grew up, and now I don't.
No, they're gunslinging assholes.
Your parents will die if you tell anyone about this.
I'll kill you and your parents. What?
But I also just want to say, I kind of like this part of the movie where I'm this is where it feels like I like being in this space of I don't really know what's happening. Car engines are disappearing.
Yeah, and we're getting all these little clues.
These little cues.
What's all this going to add up to be,
And then it just adds up to be nothing. And kind of shit. I have shit taste in my mouth when I'm watching it. But, it's a cool spot to be in. And I think there is this is where,
This is where we're at right now in our current world with all these little occurrences happening. We're all what's happening?
It's getting a little spooky out there, guys.
What's going on? And then, in a few weeks, we're going to be all... running from tentacled aliens in the street. So
War of the Worlds happening in real life.
Yeah. We should have covered that movie. I watched the other day and I keep feeling like we covered it.
Dude, you gotta read you should listen to the audiobook. The book is awesome. Or read it. It's 100 pages. It's fucking awesome. That book is great.
Dude, I'll do that later.
Yeah.
Straight
You can probably get it online for free. It's awesome.
I'd get anything online for free if I really want.
Yeah. Check out the War of the Worlds book.
I don't do that stuff anymore so much, but I will find it. I would guarantee it's on Spotify. Anyway. Yeah, all the engines are gone from the cars. People are all around him asking about the events going on because they all have had strange stuff happen. Their dogs are missing, and I guess this might have been where the microwaves thing was said in there somewhere. They're all jabbering, so a bunch of stuff said in there. Jack looks up while everyone's explaining shit to him and telling him what's going on, and sees a military trucks are going, by on the street. It goes to Joe calling out for Lucy, their dog, through the neighborhood. And it goes to him putting up a missing dog poster. And there's just dozens of missing dog posters up on this, post-it board.
Cool effect. Cool little touch.
Yeah, because I'm
that'd be creepy.
I feel it's more predictive programming of stuff this is going to happen. Cuts to Joe walking in the door at home, and he hears people talking. He goes in and he sees a half a dozen cops or so and his dad sitting at the table discussing the events going on.
And I'm a huge fan of, like, agencies investigating other agencies. I love the idea of the cops investigating the Air Force. I think that's way cooler than them trying to be, like, the big man on campus on the military train site. I mean, this would have been way cooler if they would have just been doing, like, stuff around the train site. Like, not getting the permission from the Air Force at all.
So, like, we're going to, like, sneak around and investigate without them knowing.
Yeah, investigate the watchers, you know. Like, I think that would have been way cooler than what it, you know, it kind of ends up being nothing anyway. But, like, I like this. I like this idea. It's a cool idea. Yeah. I'm a sucker for the agency.
I do kind of like, when they came in, they were like, we got to figure this out. We're not getting no answers from them, so we're going to figure it out.
I love it.
Amongst ourselves. Yep, this is what you should do.
Have you seen Lucy anywhere? He hung up these posters, so he didn't even ask his dad before he started hanging up posters. What if the dad would have been like, oh yeah, I took her to the vet today?
It's been crazy around town. Dogs are missing, so I took him to your Aunt Lucy's, you know, or not Lucy, because that's the dog's name. Aunt
Caroline.
Yeah, Carolyn, and, whatever. Just, he's out there putting up signs like, where you been all afternoon? I've been putting up signs. Like, well, why'd you ask me first? I don't know. I'm a stupid kid. So, yeah, good point. Good catch. So, the cops are discussing the events going on. The military with big guns, Geiger counters, talk about Woodward's research, military guys taking molds of tire tracks, and that means they're looking for someone, which shocks Joe, and he drops the flashlight, getting everyone's attention. Joe asks his dad if he's seen Lucy. Lights flicker and Jack's radio's in and asks if the station has power. Lady says that it's been going on and off all day. Jack wants her to send someone from County Energy down there right away. Like, down where? County Energy? Like, I don't know. It just kind of seemed, so something County Energy down there right away. Down where? Shouldn't they already be at this energy place, like, maintaining these things? If it's been happening all day, all across the county, you'd think they'd be already out there working on the shit.
Yeah.
Just saying. It shoots to Joe, radioing Charles, in their little walkie-talkies they have, kids. Shit.
But, dude, Chubby Charles be dropping bombs. They could be listening. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I know.
He finally does what you've wanted from all these other guys.
Everybody else. Charles,
like Chubby Charles is
kind of a thug.
Yeah. He's
got the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm like, never say anything important over it.
Yeah. And Charles says, shut the fuck up. They can be monitoring, us right now. He needs Joe to go to do Alice's makeup the next day. And Joe says, all right. He's probably eager as fuck to do that. And we see the chaos happening behind Charles with the rest of his family.
Very funny. I love it.
I'm like, and I don't miss it. Y'all children running around.
I thought about our household.
Wild and screaming. I don't miss it. It was constant chaos growing up. And when I got out, I was like...
Freedom.
That's why I live so calm and quiet now. Because it was so chaotic and crazy. I swear. But anyway. Don't miss that. We next see the power guys heading down the road. And they're reporting in on all the power lines were missing, like the cables from them. Not the poles, but the cables. And they get out and they're checking some transformer when they hear a bunch of ruckus in the trees. And I think it's like a fridge comes flying out of the trees from nowhere. And the worker has the basket on the boom, go higher to try to get a better look, what happened there. Like, fucking stupid. When a beast comes out of the trees and gets them.
This is an innocent bystander. You know, really gonna love this alien later on. Really gonna be a redemption story.
Yeah, you're gonna feel all happy and cozy when he goes home.
Yeah, you're gonna really feel that E.T. moment. Because E.T. totally had a kill count.
Did he?
No, he didn't.
Oh, yeah. I was like, shit, it's been a while. Next we're in town and in a town hall meeting, and the community's all tripping. Some bitch was all, I think it's the Russians, and people clap and him and ha like Jack wants to institute a curfew, and the mic gets passed to this guy saying his ham radio is tweaking and that he picked up some military chatter. Jack has to speak with him in private. Jack asked for the frequencies he heard the military on. So Jack heads down to the station to get the people working on listening on the frequencies when Alice's dad is being escorted by a cop and tells Jack that his son was over at his house yesterday and to have him let Joe know to stay away from his house and his daughter.
there's this great part where he's walking into the police station and he's like, okay, all you deputies need to get this on the one frequency. Do you understand? And they're like, no.
Yeah, I know.
And that gets me I've never heard that, like in a movie before where they just like, no. I don't get why do you need me to do this?
Right. Yep. And they just like run off and do it like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah. I just love that.
Yeah, it was pretty
I love
good.
a few like got me a smile.
Just one of the very limited instances where I smiled.
Yeah.
So next, we're in Joe's room, and he just put on Alice's makeup. Not him putting it on, he put it on Alice's face, you know. He's all trying to pick up stuff quick and hide his bad grades. Like, so did he put it on like outside of the room and then just like walked her in, or were they in there the whole time and now he's deciding that it's messy and he should probably pick up? I didn't quite catch that.
It doesn't really matter. Did they even get together? I don't even remember. I think we see them hold hands.
I think they hold hands.
Ooh, what a big payoff. Well, I guess.
Okay, they're children, and what more do you want?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to bury this movie excessively.
He's all trying to pick up shit quick and hide his bad grades and stuff, and she's asking about his models, and they're looking at the one his buddies were trying to blow up, and Alice asked Joe about the necklace and he was holding, and I'm guessing she saw it at the crash site too or something like that because she was asking about it. And he explains that his dad gave it to his mom the day he was born, and she used to wear it all the time, and was bad how she died, but his dad got it back, and Charles pops up out of nowhere and tells Joe he's got to play the soldier because so-and-so Evan flaked out or something. So, I don't know. That whole scene right there, what I just said, was like a whole fuck ton slower than the 30 seconds it took me to just explain that. Like, that was a good 3 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we just got through that because that was just sappy, cringy stuff I can barely stand. So, it goes back to Jack at the station. And another deputy is telling him that they found his dog, Lucy, a county over, and a bunch of other dogs. And they appear to all have left the area in every direction. Around here, we see an officer was listening on the frequencies and heard something about Operation Walking Distance.
Cool name.
I guess.
I like it. I think it's cool. What would you call this operation?
I don't know.
Operation Independence Day.
I hope this is over soon. Because of the crew filming a scene in front of a house during the day and shit like that, and the military is searching.
And how did no one stop them immediately?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? Come on.
This is like a bunch of trucks out there, a bunch of dudes, and they're like just standing there
and
filming.
They're like going back and forth. There's no way they don't see these kids.
And they're like, Carrie's sitting there worried, like, should we be doing this? Like, you're fucking one you hate so much is the only one like, hey, bros, like, I don't think we should be doing
like,
this.
I'm an idiot. I like lighting things on fire, but even I'm like, nah.
This is crossing some kind of line here, bros. And Charles is like, it's fine, it's production value, shut up.
This is where I'm like, Charles, you fucking stupid, man.
I just like him because he got balls. Like, I don't give a fuck, Keisha. I'm out here filming, and I'm going to get this production value. So I kind of like...
He's a little hustler.
He's my thug. I don't know. Charles is he's that man. Joe is acting and reciting his lines. Alice is holding the mic and watching Joe adoringly. We see the Nellick talking to a soldier inside the house. We see Nellick and a soldier talking, and that they haven't found what they're looking for yet. And he asks, "What's up with the kids outside?" Yeah, why was that not been asked? Like that, this just wouldn't happen. It could be different times. Like how many kids you see after filming? You know, nowadays every child is filming.
Any army guy with two brain cells rubbed together would be like, "Get these kids out."
Not even rubbed together. One like barely fucking breathing on his deathbed would still like have enough to be like, "Hey, dude, get these kids out of here."
Like these guys can't just be like, "This is like some like Roswell."
Somebody's gonna trip. And he's gonna be on America's Funniest Home Videos, and we're fucked, bud. Yeah. Like no. Kind of they're looking for. Yeah. Okay, so they're in there looking for something. They haven't found what they're looking for yet. We cut back outside, and the kids notice Joe's dad driving up, and Daddy don't look happy. He gets out and tells Joe to get in the car. Joe's all shook, gets in, takes the camera. Joe's dad then takes the camera tosses it in the car. Charles is like, that's your camera, but technically that's my film inside of it. So, I'm gonna need that. And Alice mouths to Joe while he's in the car, like, was it me? Am I the reason for this? Or is it, like, and Joe shakes his head, no. Jack walks up to Nellick and asks him why the trucks are sweeping the town. And he threatens to call up some of his friends in D.C. and ask about Operation Walking Distance.
Terrible move. Don't reveal this.
Don't reveal your fucking, like, inside info. Just so dumb.
Idiot.
It's like, oh, why don't you come with me, sir?
Yeah.
Come on. And like, hey, bros, detain this man.
Would you mind meeting with me on the base a little bit later?
We got them black sacks. Yeah, we got black sacks. Yeah.
Like, just stupid. Just dumb. Just dumb.
It's like, oh, you know about that? Like, oh, well, I guess I better bring you into the fold of information then, bud. Okay, so let's meet up later. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyway. And want to meet up later then? Mm-hmm. We see him shake on it, and they're going to meet up later, I guess. Talk about this. Yeah. So we go to Jack and Joe at home, and Jack demands that Joe no longer sees Alice. She's not allowed over. He's not allowed to go over. They're not allowed to do nothing. No movie projects, hang out. Oh, hang out. That's what I'm probably guessing I was going there. Nothing, period. Joe's like, no, fuck that. And Jack says her father is an irresponsible, selfish son of a bitch. He's not allowed to be friends with Alice and stuff like that because of it. And irresponsible. So, he called in because he was hungover. I call him a pretty irresponsible son of a bitch. I mean, yeah, maybe a little irresponsible for missing work due to drinking, but that's like a personal thing. It really hurt, might hurt the team back at the place. Well, we got somebody killed, I guess. Okay, I can see.
It didn't get him. No, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. He wasn't even on the premise. It would have been him who died with that logic.
Well, I can see where the logic was running. I just did it right now.
It's fucking bad. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like if somebody took my shift at McDonald's and got killed by the fryer. I'm not going to feel bad a day in my life. I'm sorry.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't me. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. You rolled a 1. You could have rolled a 20, but you rolled a 1,
Sucks to suck.
Not my fault. I wasn't the one rolling the dice, That is not his fault at all. That's the bare requirement for death. Everybody's getting locked up for murder. So basically, Jack just tells Joe that him and Alice cannot be friends, period. He's got 12,000 people in town relying on him right now, so you guys can't be friends. Because logic. Just this guy
doesn't matter.
This guy isn't the sharpest cookie. Jack isn't the brightest guy.
So we see Joe going to the cemetery.
But real quick, his face at one of these parts where he's like at the very end where he wants to, I think, say sorry or like say you can be cool with your friends, but he doesn't, like all that emotion in his face, like in that little 20-second thing. It's beautiful.
It must not have been that impactful because I don't recall that.
It was very impactful for me. I'm like, man, you can feel the anguish. Like he wants to talk to his son and chill with him a little bit, but he has to stay firm. He has to be that tough dad. At least that's what he thinks he has to do. When honestly, you shouldn't. You probably should be a little more chill,
Yeah, it's good to be a little bit open. Next, we see Joe going to the cemetery. He's sitting at his mama's grave a while because it's dark now. He walks up when it's daytime or dusk. It was nice, so he's been there a while. When he hears the crashing and banging coming from a garage nearby, and he can see shadows and whatnot through the windows of the garage doors, and then the scene cuts to Jack pulling up to some gate with trucks and soldiers saying, this is where Nellick said to meet, shouting out the window, this is where Nellick said to meet. And we see him get taken into military custody.
Immediately.
Just promptly, just like, hey, where else going to get told what's happening by Nellick? No, you stupid fuck. You're getting taken in because you fucking let the cat out of the bag that you fucking...
You knew about their shit.
You knew about Operation Walking Distance. Stupid ass.
I think if you would have said nothing, you'd be better off right now.
Probably been out there with your fucking cop buddies and they're investigating something, but no, you're a dumbass. It's stupid. You don't even have your cop buddies backing you up like, dog, hey, they're going to have me meet somewhere, so I need y'all in the bushes there
That would have
ahead
been
of
cool.
time.
That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, nope. Didn't think. It just, you're going to tell me everything out here on this fucking road in the middle of nowhere.
These guys would have been totally truthful, and I am not suspicious of at all.
Been totally transparent and just totally have trustworthy faces on them.
This should have happened at the beginning of the movie, logically. Like, he gets tricked by him, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't trust these guys now." Not happening, like walking right into it. Mm-hmm. It's like if the dude like Moby Dick would have just walked in the whale. You know what I mean? I don't remember who's who.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's been a while.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever read the book. I've never read the book. No,
I think a dude gets stuck in a whale or something.
Yeah, somebody. So he's in custody. Costanelli talking to Dr. Woodward, who is... I keep wanting to say Squidward, and it's really hard.
Yeah, no, I thought it was Squidward all the time.
Okay, good. I'm about to do it. Costanelli talking to Dr. Squidward, who's all bloody in a hospital bed. He's
totally should be dead.
Totally should be just molecules dusted in the air. But no, he's... walking, or he's laying and talking, still bleeding, I guess, but anyway.
Also, can they get a fly strip in this room? Did anyone else notice the flies in this?
Were there?
No, yeah, it was gross. It was weird. And it's like, I'm like, it's not really, the rest of the base seems really clean, so it's not like an aesthetic thing that they just not have a fly strip. It's very odd. There's like 2 or 3 flies in this scene. It's very obnoxious.
Were they like real, you think, or were they
no, I think CGI? They're real. They feel like real flies. I'm like, it's kind of gross. They don't really serve a purpose other than just being there.
It's the corn syrup they use for the fake blood. Just like, you can get the flies away. Filming out in some barn somewhere, in the country. So he's talking to the invincible Woodward, trying to get him to tell him who was documenting the crash, because that's what they were looking for earlier. It was like, they saw that he got that fucking film box from the scene, so who was filming the crash? You think he had an accomplice, like, film the crash? Like, that makes, like, why? Like, why? Why would they need to film it to let the thing go? I don't know. That's what Nellick thinks. He has someone filming him, so he wants to know what his accomplice is. If he tells him, he will get him treatment, and no matter what, they'll find him, meaning, the beast, I'm assuming, or the person filming. I can probably figure out what he's meaning by him. Doc said that he, now I know referring to the beast, is in him as much as I am in him. The beast is in me as much as I am in him. And I'm like, I don't quite understand what that means, because, like, yeah, they touched and stuff and had that transfer. Anyway, we'll get to that. Nellick walks off, and the soldier injects his IV with something, and the Doc starts convulsing a bit. I guess, did he kill him? Did we see him again?
I think he's dead. I don't care about this guy.
Yeah,
he's a weird character. I wish he's just. I feel he's just. We could have like
a back scene where like he's teaching the children's and has some like
cool.
We see it in his office. He's going through files, really like hidden in his desk drawer and like some faux drawer inside of his desk that he's working on still. Too.
I think the secret.
It's like he's a high school teacher and he's involved in all this. Get the fuck out of here.
Like I think it would have made more sense if like we would have got hints for like because the movie's like really afraid or really doesn't want to tell you its big secret, like all these cutaways and stuff like
What's
that.
What's the big secret?
Well, like the alien itself, because like we really. Like, we get hints that it's kind of, well, I guess we know what the
we know it's a monster of some kind.
But we don't get to see it. We don't know a story. Like, at this point
subterranean.
In the movie, we don't know anything at this point.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been cool for, like, we would have had an earlier scene with this. Like, the opening of the movie would have been Woodward giving, like, a cool, like, talk on aliens or some type of, like, more things might exist than you believe. Like, almost like a Gandalf kind of a thing where he's like, he knows more than... Like, he knows more than what he's telling you kind of a thing. Yeah. And then, like
more of a storytelling or story aspect, or, like, he's, like, an actual part of the story.
Yeah.
It seems like instead of just, like, a quick, I ran into a train and, I don't know.
Well, think about this, right? Like, when we see this awesome opening scene of Woodward, and it gets you interested, and it's, like, cool, and it's, like, aliens might exist or whatever. And then then we go to the filming. The movie's exactly the same, but then we cut to the train. He dies. And then they investigate, why did their favorite teacher die? Why did he run into this train? That train thing was weird. What's going on with that? And then they investigate why their favorite teacher offed himself, essentially. And then that's when they find out about this alien and whatnot. And
that would have been a lot better story. Yep. Yeah. I was like, playing that out in my head as you were talking about it. I'm like, I like it. I think
it makes way more sense. I mean, like this shit just seems half-baked.
It just seems like it was forced, too. It was just like, like, why do you have to force this, like, all these little situations to get him into this plot of, like, oh, dude's mom got killed, but, like, in a very strange, like, not really that guy's fault way. And, like,
that really bothers me. That's a huge
dude derails this train because of this monster, but, like, you know, it's just...
How does he know...
Can we do something besides the train derailment? Yeah, that looks cool, but, like, a better story would have been better for me instead of better visuals.
I think it should have been, like, I think you get rid of the fucking train, honestly. Like, I don't like the train. I don't like how they do it. Unless it would have been a smarter way to take... I just don't buy why they're moving him. I don't get why they would ever move this thing, ever. Like...
Yeah,
like the fact that they even caught it back in the day...
In, like, a fucking base... out in the middle of, like, some podunk town, like, out,
See,
you know,
that's what I'm
out of
saying.
some farm of some podunk town. You didn't have to, like, make it happen here just because this is where the train went through.
Like, what if they were filming some small film out in, like, a field, and then, like, they're running a tractor over it, and then they fall into something.
Yeah, like something. A fucking tunnel entrance. Like, what's this? Oh,
yeah.
shit.
And it's like,
and
actually...
Like, yeah, we've been monitoring them kids up there playing, but, oh, shit, they found us. Like, and then it could have been a whole...
And then it gets out that way, you know? And then, like, then you wouldn't have to have this train bullshit. You could still have them out in the middle of Podang nowhere. You could even still have Woodward being important. Like, you can still have all this shit.
Look at us. We just made up, like, 3 different ways that this could have been way better.
Yeah, we wrote them out of the hole they should have wrote themselves out of 14 years ago.
Own show or skit or something sometime.
Yeah.
One of these days.
We'll fix it for you.
We go to the next scene. We hear some knocks on the window of Joe's bedroom, and it's Alice. Joe lets her in, and she wants to talk. I like how I wrote down Joe lets her in like he wouldn't or something. He tried to turn on the light, but power's still out. And he says, room's still messy. They start talking, and Alice tells him that she doesn't want him to let the other guys blow up his train. Charles is so bossy and shouldn't always get what he wants. And Joe defends Charles and says, like, he's a nice guy. And she's like, it's weird. It's like, I know you, but I hardly know you. And he's just like, I'm just in shock that this whole conversation's happening right now. And when the power comes back on all of a sudden, and the projector that he was watching before starts playing again, and he goes to shut it off, but Alice says, keep it on, because it's a home video of his mama. And there's JJ lens flares everywhere across the entire, like, I don't know why they even show anything else. They just might as well just put just lens flares on the screen, which is, he said his mama used to look at him in a way that made him feel like he existed. And Alice starts talking, I don't know, we're saying that morning my daddy had been drinking.
Fuck you, Alice, and fuck this kid. This is not his fault. Alice's dad deserves to go Rambo in this whole fucking town. Fuck Alice.
Straight up, dude.
Fuck everyone else.
Straight up.
This is horrible. This is horrible. This is like the Salem witch trials
my daddy
for this poor guy.
And he missed his shift. He, like, as soon as I heard him miss his shift, like, get the what?
This
So he wasn't even there? So, okay. So he went in, like, late to a shift, right? Clearly. He just went in later drunk. Nope. He just wasn't there.
He
just wasn't there at all. He's at home sleeping.
Heaven forbid a single father drinks a little too many at the local pub.
Because his baby mama left him and his daughter.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't think that's stressful?
Because he was an asshole? Maybe he wasn't an asshole before that. We don't know anything about this guy.
He could be the greatest fucking guy ever. He could be the
greatest dude ever until he got shit on by her tramp mother. And he's just suffering through, had a little to drink the night before, called in because he's
not feeling well,
depressed, sad, just like, fuck it, I'm going to take a little mental health day.
And because of someone else's fuck up, what we don't know of.
Yeah, kills this innocent lady. It's not his fault.
Tragedy, very sad, but not his fault. Nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court of Two Bros, One Film finds Alice's dad innocent of any bullshit.
So he'd been drinking, and he missed his shift, and your mom took the shift for him. She knows that her dad wishes it was him that died instead of Joe's mom. And sometimes she does too. And it's just like, oh, you wish your dad had died instead of this random lady? He had one. I'm like, if this happened every single fucking shift or something, but then he wouldn't even have a job. Like, it's just, I don't know.
And the only person's life he'd be ruining? His.
His. That's what I said. Yeah, I said that before.
And he wasn't even there.
Wasn't even there, man.
That's right.
Such a low blow to his whole like life, and the whole town like ostracizes and hates on him because he called in out of work one day and somebody else died. Like, get the fuck out of here.
That's outrageous.
There's like nothing else going on in this town at all that y'all have to sit here and just
hate on this poor one man. Yeah.
Fuck.
Single dad. Terrible.
Just why don't you go help the motherfucker out? Goddamn, instead of just bashing on him, dude.
It's fucked up.
The film runs out just as the metal cube thing starts vibrating.
Ooh, ooh.
And it's a different shape.
Ooh.
And it bursts through the wall.
Oh. Really gonna pay off later. I'm telling you guys, huge twist.
And they look out the hole, and like when you're looking at it, I went back like 3 times to look at what they were seeing through the hole. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I couldn't quite make it out. We find out later it's the water tower, but it was just like, what the like, I just couldn't quite get what they were looking at. I don't know if we were supposed to be able to see something through that hole, but you couldn't
you
really
can see if it's the water tower. You don't know what that means until
like, I can even tell they're looking at a hole in the wall. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, there's a hole in the wall and they're looking at something through it. It took me a minute.
So this leads to more questions for me about how they get the microwaves. Do the microwaves pop through the wall?
No, the alien goes into each house individually.
Is he like Santa Claus? Because it's so fucking stupid how he would totally just tunnel. To me, he would, because he's underground or whatever. I feel like for the car thing,
yeah, he'd come up underneath the parking lot.
But then you would see these giant holes leading into the ground. So it doesn't make any. It's Looney Tunes.
If you made the hole like
it is Looney
outside
Tunes.
the parking lot and then crawled over and then just carried each engine and engine part individually into the hole. Away.
Dude, this is some Looney Tunes bullshit.
That's why it's like a kid's movie.
Well, I know, you can't make that defense because people are getting Genghis Khan'd.
Yeah.
And later, like, they get smushed.
Okay, well.
This movie is confused.
It goes to Alice walking back in at home, and she gets stopped by her dad asking where she's been. Or should he tell her where she's been? And he's got a bottle next to him, and he's drunk. And she's like, I just want to go upstairs. And he's like, nah, sit down. She says, no. He said, fine, be like your mother, go. Just go. And she runs out of the house and jumps on her bike and races off. Her daddy stumbles after her. She's riding down the street when her daddy comes driving down the street after her, screaming, I'm sorry, and whatnot. She does an awesome 180 screecher on her bike.
Yeah, pretty good. That's pretty good.
He keeps on going, crashing into a parked car. She stops, and just as she sees him start moving, like he's conscious and stuff, we hear a growling, and she gets snatched up by the beast. And Daddy all running, calling after her. So, like, aside from him driving drunk, like, he didn't beat her. Yeah, he was a little intimidating, like, sounding like, whatever. He just asked her to sit down so he could talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he probably is some drunk, maybe, what do they call him?
Deadbeat.
Yeah, like distant father because, he's drunk or something like that. But, like, I don't know. It's like, I just feel like her trauma is like she's been beat or, like, abused severely.
I think she's just, like, upset because of, like, her mom's gone. Like, she's never had her mom.
Yeah.
So
I think they both should just sit down and have a talk. You should be sober.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to sit down and just have, like, a chill talk, go out for some ice cream or some fucking shit and have a talk.
And everything's always amped up to 10 with teenagers, They're always on the edge of breaking down and hormones.
I'm just like, it just seemed like quite a dramatic thing. Like, she ran and drove away on her bike instead of just, like, run upstairs and lock the door or something like that. I feel like, would have been a more appropriate response to that.
He eats shit and rams, and that poor guy, now he's going to get a DUI and his car's ruined.
Oh, his late 80s. Yeah, I guess late 80s he'd probably DUI. If it was late 70s, he'd probably just like, get on home safe, buddy. Like, brush it off. We all have a few fuck-ups here. Like,
everybody gets one.
Nowadays, you're like going to prison forever and have $1 million fine. So next, the military setting this field on fire. We hear that Operation Walking Distance is in full effect, and evacuation is happening in 4 hours. And so we're like, evacuation of what? Of the town, obviously. Anyway, we cut back to the store that Charles and Joe were at before, and they're picking up the developed film from his camera. The clerk's all about Charles' sister. Again, he was in the first round, too, I forgot to mention. But clerk's all talking about Charles' sister, this and that, and Charles is tripping because Joe's daddy took the camera and that Joan will let Charles and dude blow up his train, and they're riding off, and we see the smoke from the fire that was set, by the military before, during the morning, I guess, early hours of the morning. It was still night out. Off in the distance, we see smoke from those fires. And then the camera pans up the water tower that they just rode under across the street from the shop. And we see the metal cube was kind of stuck up next to it so hard that it dented the, big thick steel wall of the water tower. And it's all just spinning, vibrating intensely. This little dent that it made. So, you see what happened to that one that flew through the wall, I guess. Charles and Joe get to the house, and Charles is tripping on Joe still about some more shit. And that if you get the camera back, then they can still make the festival. And Charles tripping on Joe Charles tripping on Joe in some type of way. And Joe's all like, I've been doing this for your movie. I do this for your movie. When the camera broke, I got my dad's camera, like, what's up? Why are you tripping on me so hard? And Charles is like, this was never about me or the movie. It was always about Alice for you. And while they're talking, Charles popped in the tape that they had developed. And if, for you youngins out there, tape is, before we had digital everything, we had actual film that we had to watch stuff on. Be kind, rewind. You kids don't even know what that means. Fuck you. So the clip starts playing, the train station scene, and Charles continues saying that he liked Alice. That's why he asked her to be in the movie, not for Joe to like her. They see that the footage is all smoky, and Charles says, we can't use this, and it's bogus. Everything's bogus. And Joe admits that he does like Alice, and Charles says he knows. But that's not what really bothers him. It's that she likes Joe back. That's what bothers him. He's all like, why would she like me anyway? I haven't leaned out yet. Doc says it's gonna happen. And so again, it reminds me of myself back in the day, because I've always been a fatty and I've heard these same exact things, and I was kind of like, damn, he lives in a chaotic house. He's kind of like a bigger brother. I don't know, not the oldest, obviously, but like, I don't know, just kind of felt some similar relation to myself in this character. Doc says, yeah, he's gonna lean out eventually. But then Joe notices something weird with the image being projected on Charles' shirt. He backs up, like, Charles is so big he can be a fucking screen. Anyway, terrible. He backs him up, and they look at the screen and see some spider crab legs looking shit walking in the wreckage. Then they hear a siren going on outside, and they snatch up the tape and run out. And the town is being evacuated because of the fire. And we see everyone getting rounded up on some buses, and shipped to the Air Force Base. And on their way, we see the red trailers going in the opposite direction, I believe, right? I don't know. We see the red trailers being moved as well. They get to the base, and they scramble around. They find Charles' parents. And Joe goes along looking and finds traumatized-looking Alice's dad on a cot. And he tells Joe they took her. Something big. And nobody believes me. And Joe's like, I believe you. Because he knows what the fuck's going on. And it goes to Joe telling the crew that the thing took Alice and they need to make a plan to go back to town to rescue Alice.
And everything we've seen in this movie of this creature when it's alone with people dictates that it would have slaughtered Alice immediately. I don't think we've seen a single dude.
Besides the other dozens that it has nabbed up and held
off screen at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the police chief and stuff like that.
It just eats them immediately later on.
Random bitch. Well, he was going to save the snacks for later. If I had, some snack that could walk off and I wasn't quite ready for it, but I saw a wire, I'm like, snatch you up, so I'll just pop you in my mouth right now real quick, because you're already out.
I don't like this guy. He kidnaps people. He eats people.
He's an alien.
And he spares people.
He's an alien.
I don't like it. I don't like this alien. I don't like his design.
We can't even begin to try to comprehend.
Oh my god. Stop trying to give this movie off, man. It deserves the hate it gets. It makes the sign aliens look like Jesus.
That's pretty tough to do.
Yeah.
They're pretty dumb too. I think they just write aliens as stupid just to give us a little bit of hope that we have something to stand against them. We see Charles go to his sister and strike a deal with her to help, for this whole plan to go down. So she goes and seduces the clerk from the video store to give them a ride into town.
The funniest scene of this whole movie might be this little clerk interacting with Wendy.
Yeah.
Because he like looks around to make sure she's talking to him at first.
Yeah.
And then like another thing is that Wendy's party has more payoffs than the Cuban Zoo. Because that's mentioned very early on in the film about her trying to get to Wendy's party and the parents aren't going to let her. So this is like...
It is.
Yeah. And I'm like, this has more payoff than the Cubes.
Attention to that detail.
Yeah.
At least they have interwoven things in this movie. They have something going on.
Wendy's party. Yeah, really big.
Interweaving.
Yeah.
This ain't no motherfucking prestige. I'll tell you what. They trying.
Can you imagine when that's the beat you drop as Wendy's party is your big touchstone for the movie?
It's like, we mentioned it way earlier. You get it? You get it? Yeah, we got it, bud.
Really blew our minds. Never seen that one before.
Regular Houdini right there. Just fucking...
Real Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, there you go. That was a good analogy. Strike a deal with the guy from the film store, and they're going to go to the school to get the doctor's research on the thing so they can learn about it and figure out how they can save Alice with that information. Great. Like,
real foolproof plan.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a bunch of technical jargon that they're not going to understand at all. Anyway, no, they're going to find an easy peasy fucking video to follow along to. Anyway, next we see Jack in a room demanding to pee. Because he's been locked up, whatever. Stored in some room. He's being walked down a hall by a guard.
He doesn't even have two guys on this dude.
Yeah. And so he's walking down the hall with these guards. He does a super spy spin move, gets a gun, and incapacitates a guard, and takes his uniform. Like, just fucking super agent out of nowhere. Now I'm just some podunk fucking deputy. Anyway.
I always hate how they overpower some characters and underpower.
Oh, yeah.
You think the army guy should have
I've just been like, motherfucker, I do this all day. So, like, no, you're not just gonna spit on me, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets the gun and uniform, uses the gun to blow up a fuel truck, and then steals a Jeep. And we see him pass the kids in the clerk's car on the highway as he's heading out of town to the base, and they're heading into town to the school. The kids get to the school, break into some storage trailer in the back. Like, where'd that come from?
And they say, not even a professional robber can get through this thing. And then they pop it open. It's like, go fuck yourself, movie. Go fuck yourself. Just because you point out, it would be impossible if the sun blew up, and then it blows up, it doesn't make it smart.
It doesn't make that person extra clever or anything. That's just your opinion or someone's opinion, but clearly that's not real.
Dumbass thing, Like, what do you do? 0 negative points. You take hits from that.
True.
You've done this multiple times throughout this movie. Point out your own logical fallacies like there's something cute.
Or like your own thing that you think is cool, but it's really not.
Yeah.
It's just not. And so the kids get to the school, break into that thing. They break into the storage trailer. I was like, I remember the kid talking about that they knew that it was going to be in that storage thing because that's where he hides what he confiscates from the kids.
Would have been cool if we would have had a scene.
And that Carrie's like, my whatever that he took when I was in like 4th grade. Like, again, this doctor that's involved with some alien is all of a sudden a high school teacher, or
and he's stealing kids shit.
Yeah, confiscating kids stuff. Like, it just seems, I don't know. Okay. They break into the school after they get the shit from that little storage, whatever the fuck it was. Because it wasn't a bin, it was like the back of a fucking truck or something.
Yeah, something weird.
It was weird. They like break into that classroom after they get into the school and they begin going through the files. They find out that the doc was dishonorably discharged from the Air Force Base in 1963 because of a subversive conduct. And they were watching a film they found and all that stuff. There are a bunch of scientists sitting in some large room looking at something. A ship, maybe? Like, it's a ship. And we hear Doc's voice explaining the situation. That was some other being. And they've been treating it foul, and its ship is made up of thousands of these little metal cubes. And it's been trying to reconstitute it. They've been experimenting on its brain and torturing it. And teaching it to hate and resent humans and shit. And them.
See, I would have bought this a lot more if, like, this guy, if the alien would have only killed army guys.
Yeah, right?
Because, like, then it's like, these people who tortured me and treated me terribly. Then you could maybe get the E.T. thing out of it where it's like, I give a shit about this guy because humans just abused him. Like, it's like an abused animal kind of a situation. But it's not. He's just killing innocent dudes. Like, he kills the electric guy, later the sheriff, and all these other guys. He's just killing
indiscriminately, and if they did do what you just said, then, yeah, that would be...
They're trying to have their cake and eat it, too, with this guy. He's either a vicious, scary monster, or he's E.T. and Gizmo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's only attacking those who did him wrong.
Yeah, and then you could maybe do that, but it's not.
And that's what, like, that dude was saying. He's like, we're teaching a hate and resentment towards us. And it's just like, towards you, but no, it's towards everyone, bud.
Yeah.
Like, the alien contacted the doctor physically through touch when it, like, okay, well, the alien touches the doctor somehow, like, the doctor's feeding it, and then the alien, like, snatches it up with one of his tentacles, and they had, like, skin-to-skin contact, and it was basically just talk to the doctor telepathically. The doctor was informed on everything that happened and what the creature was thinking about and all that kind of shit. And the creature told him that if they don't start helping him, as in the creature, that they will all pay. But Nellick didn't give a fuck, so they find out that the doc was trying to help him escape.
And again, like, if you knew how deadly this thing was and what it was capable of, and it kind of hates humans, is it really
because it almost killed you up.
Yeah. Is it? So, like,
I'm going to let it loose.
I'm going to let it loose. That's a terrible idea.
Well, if you give it the ship, too, and help it build a ship, and it'll just go away.
You hope, though. You don't know that for sure.
Yeah, you don't know.
You had one conversation with this guy. The ship turns around and
blows you the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shits out some mega virus and takes out all humans, like... You know.
Yeah, like, it might, like, you think it's gonna be cool, bro, after what we did to him? You know, we kept him in a basement for 50 years and tortured him? Like, he's gonna be pissed off.
We're gonna let him go now.
Yeah.
He should be really ready to leave.
So, hey, we're sorry about, you know, keeping you in captivity.
Yeah, but we let you out now.
Yeah, we're cool, right? We cool.
Door's unlocked. Right there you go. No, he's gonna rip off their heads first and then leave.
Yeah. So, this is a dumb idea all the way around.
Yeah. So they find out in the film that the doctor was trying to help the monster escape just as the military bursts in the room and catches them all. Nellick walks up to them in the hall to take them in, and one of the guards takes Joe's necklace of his mom. And puts it in his pocket, like were they looting from a child now? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, this is evidence. Like, go fuck off. The clerk from the shop sees them being taken away out in the parking lot, and we see him call on his CB radio for police backup. Like, sure, great idea. The police are really gonna help out fucking against the military. Like, they're gonna do anything. Great plan. So next we see Jack going into the Air Force Base, and he tells Roscoe, one of his deputies, and they kept using Roscoe like we've heard the name before. We've seen this guy. It feels like there's supposed to be some rapport. Maybe there was a deleted scene or something, but Roscoe's just nobody. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that kind of stood out to me. It was just, I don't know, just felt weird. And Roscoe, just like, Roscoe. It sounds like my fucking dog. I used to have a dog named Rocco, just one letter off. Anyway, we see Jack go into the Air Force Base, and he tells Roscoe, one of the deputies, that the fire that they're all like being evacuated from is because of the military. And shit's bad out there. Roscoe tells Jack that he heard over the radio that Joe and his buddies were grabbed by the military at the school. He goes to question Preston, one of the kids of Joe's buddies group, to tell him everything, and Preston gives him the tape.
I think this is kind of a lame scene where it's like, I'll take you to jail, Preston.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if it's like, I'll break your thumbs and you can't read that little comic book.
Yeah,
or something cool like that, yeah.
It's like, I will take you out in the woods and no one will find your body because I am the cops.
Some good old country, you know, backwoods hillbilly. You'll never be seen again, you know.
Yeah, because I am the police.
Yeah, I am the law. But we don't get any of that. And then it's like, this is one of those things about this, like, Jack's deal in this whole movie where I'm like, cool, you found out this is some sketchy military operation. Mm-hmm. You think you're going to beat the U.S. military?
Yeah.
And what are they even in, like, God, you know, in this situation, what they're hiding is way more terrifying than them themselves, you know what I mean? So it's like, shut up, Jack, you're doing nothing.
Like, what's your big end game here? You want to find the truth here, but what are you going to do with it?
You're going to end up in prison for the rest of your life or dead, you know, because they're going to take you out.
Let them do their thing. They're trying to get rid of this so nobody knows nothing about it, so don't you worry about it, dog.
Yeah, the big scary government cartels.
You can literally been sitting around eating donuts and, like, chilling.
Yeah. sending all these calls from these concerned
making
people.
money for the county,
Going
pulling people over,
yeah.
whatever, dude. Like, what are you worried about?
Yeah, chill out. This isn't your job, bro.
Yeah, this is way above your pay grade, dog. Like, he's just like just trying to make up for lost time. Like, I ended up nothing. Now I had to do something. I'm gonna be somebody. Nah, dude, you're just in the way. So we get back. So we're back on the bus with Joe and the crew, and they're wondering what's gonna happen to them. You know, when the bus gets knocked into hard enough that it like makes the bus pull over and shit like that. And the bus won't start back up, and the soldiers pull out a gun with tracking darts in it. And Nellick orders the driver to open the door and check out.
If I was this dude,
I'm like, fuck you, dude.
No, that's what I said. Fuck you, man. Like, I'm not. Fuck you. I'm not going out there and tagging that thing.
Yeah, if it was some humans out there, I'll go out and fuck around. Some giant fucking beast out there. Like, this shit don't mean nothing no more.
Yeah, your military ranking.
Yeah, your fucking authority, not even a thing.
When fucking Godzilla shows up,
yeah,
all that shit's out the window.
We're on different like levels of reality now. No. So, yeah.
And the way they take him out immediately.
Poor black man sitting here like, the first person that's supposed to have died was that, what you call it? And he didn't. So, no, this is the first man that dies.
Yeah.
And he's a black man.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Anyway.
Right. No, what word though? Oh, he's black too, though.
He's black too?
No, damn it. Come on. I thought we were farther in 2011. I guess we weren't.
Too.
I guess we weren't.
We definitely were. So, yeah.
And we get the most funny, not funny scene of this whole movie, the bus puke.
Bus puke.
Like when the kid sees the guy get like eaten, he vomits out of nowhere. It's just awesome. Like immediately. It's the funniest fucking thing ever. It's my favorite part of this whole movie.
It is funny. So, yeah. The soldier gets deaded. Wait, what does the kid say? They get ungraved? What does the kid say? Get
unalived.
Unalived. There it is.
Oh, yeah. Also, what the fuck? Tracking darts? No, that was the big plan.
They can't just follow the fucking trail of destruction and everything, and footprint, and holes it dug and whatever.
And it's like,
oh, you're gonna penetrate that thing's armor with a dart, and it's gonna stick in there? I don't know. There's just nothing part of that plan.
And where's the firepower? You think you would have something like a grenade launcher or a rocket, something cool if you're dealing with Godzilla-esque shit?
Yeah, it's not like you would hit it with a dart. You'd like hit it with some shrapnel that can be tracked with, like, you know, a Geiger counter or something. I don't know.
Something.
Yeah, it was stupid. So, the kids are all on the bus screaming and shit while dude's getting ripped apart. And Nellick turns to ask, what other firepower do we got in here, to some other soldier. When the beast rolls the bus over on its side, and the kids try to get out of the locked area that they're stuck in the back of the bus, Nellick goes and tries to help too. The creature is squishing dudes in the background.
Horrifically.
So maybe not a kid's movie.
Yeah, no, this movie is confused about what it wants to be.
It really is. They notice a window is broken, and they all climb out. Nellick is inside spraying and praying.
But he has that moment of like, yeah, I don't care about what happens to me, just bomb this bus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the kids are still on the bus, dude. That's so fucked up.
Who gives shit about the kids? The parents can make new ones. Well, I guess a couple of them can.
Yeah, a couple of them can, yeah.
Well, they can find new spouses, whatever. We get our first good look at the creature, though, right here.
Dude, and it is 80 minutes into this film. And it's filmed like an hour and 58. That's outrageous. And it isn't, you don't remember this.
There's 30-something minutes left in this, and it's really just, like, not much left.
And it's a nothing burger design. It's not memorable. It's not a xenomorph. It's not the alien from Signs, that big reveal.
It really isn't.
And it's like a wet fart.
Ew. And then, you gotta change your drawers afterward.
Yeah.
Man. We got our first good look. The kids get outside, and they watch from the ditch, all this giant monsters ripping apart the bus and Nellick and all that shit. And we go back to Jack getting Alice's dad from the medic tent. All of a sudden it cuts to that. And he's about to be taken away from other personnel, but since the uniform Jack stole was of a staff sergeant, he said, he had orders to take this guy elsewhere, and they're like, oh, yep, sure, okay, yep. And Alice's dad asked where they're going, and Jack says, to find our kids. And it felt like it was supposed to be a moment, but it didn't feel like a moment.
We gotta find our kids.
It didn't land. It kind of reminded me of a line from Bright, or you remember that movie? And that just great concept and everything, terrible execution. It was just their lines just fell flat all the time. Besides Willie Smith's, but
he is Will Smith.
He is Will Smith. She's back to the kids going through the bus now, and we see Joe finds his mom's necklace. Convenient. When the clerk dude, he should have been in the guts of that fucking monster. I'm just saying. When the clerk dude pulls up in the car, and they catch a ride from him back into town, and he's too stoned, so we see Joe driving, which, I don't know, it just seems...
That seems like some 1940s weed is bad for you.
Yeah.
Finger waving.
Yeah. And one of them asks where they're going, and Joe said that in the video they were watching of the doctors at the school, that he thinks that it was said that the creatures might be subterranean, and he thinks he knows where to find the entrance to the subterranean place. So they're going through the neighborhood when they pull down a street with a tank.
And it's like, this should have been your move number one, dude. This is the first thing I'm setting out to fight Godzilla.
A tank? Yeah.
Yeah, just an army of tanks. Get us all the tanks in this little state. Right, Ohio. I want all Ohio tank and helicopters. I don't give a shit.
I wonder how many tanks are, in Ohio right now.
That's a great question.
I wonder how many tanks are in Iowa.
I don't know.
Operational tanks, like 4, maybe.
Yeah. We have a helicopter.
And a couple of our bases. No, we have plenty of helicopters, but anyway. Yeah, the tank fires a shot, and they get all scared, and they bail off into the yard, and they leave dude in the car passed out, the fucking clerk guy.
He's all fucked up.
It's like, yeah, drugs are bad, and no, they're great, actually, but I feel like, what they were trying to say with is, drugs are bad. Devil's lettuce there, sort of shit. While they're running out, we see guns and tanks firing shots everywhere, just every which way.
And this is another problem. There's no rules established of what the alien is capable. He just seems like he's physically better than us, mentally way superior than us,
something like that. Can move stuff with his brain.
And really, everything we try to throw at him is just no damage. Yeah, 0 damage. So I just don't care for this guy because it's like.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to think of him. I don't even know what.
Is there a way to combat this? No, you can't combat it. Is there a way to understand it? No, it doesn't want to talk. It'll touch you and tell you about why it's pissed, but that's about it.
And it likes to kill dudes when it feels like it.
There isn't much to work with. Yeah. Like the aliens and signs. They're here to kill you.
Yeah, they don't like us.
E.T. But at least he just wants to go home.
We kind of had an idea. I would say that we had so much better of an idea.
This wants to go home and escape, but
kill a couple dudes.
Does it want to eat you or kill you?
Yeah. And it spares him later on, so that's even weirder. So it's it's a
human eating monster or human killing monster. We pick one role and stick with it.
Again, are we supposed to feel sorry for this alien, or are we supposed to be afraid of it?
If it's just eating us because it's hungry, okay, fine, whatever.
That kind of makes it a lot more chill.
It's just eating, dude.
What if it was just eating cows?
Yeah, we're tasty too, apparently. Whatever, okay. Is that why the dogs were leaving? It was eating dogs.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they're shooting guns everywhere, and we hear one of the military dudes saying that all the weapons are misfiring at the same time. So they're not even shooting; the fucking guns are going off.
That'd
so
be
somehow
horrifying.
The alien can just pull triggers for people, I guess. I don't know. And the kids are running, and we hear the T-Rex sound from Jurassic Park. Totally hear the T-Rex growl from Jurassic Park in the background. I guess.
Steven Spielberg.
Sounds right, Steven, I guess. I didn't use it. Guaranteed. I know that sound.
Oh, cool, really?
Yeah, bringing some nostalgia back for the older generation watching a new movie with their kids, but it's just
not nearly as good,
Yeah, we should just watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
They run into a random house when the wall explodes. And
we get our first injury.
Yeah, first injury, finally. Yeah, Martin's leg is broke. The bone's all sticking out and shit. Blood's going everywhere. And Joe says he's got to go and tells them to wait here. And Carrie goes with him. And so Joe and Carrie run off. They head to the cemetery where he saw that craziness going on in that garage.
But before they run off, they're like,
"Oh yeah."
He's like, "All right, can you do it without me?" Charles says. Which again, I'm not bringing Cody down into the hole. I would bring Charles. Like Charles, Carrie, whatever. I don't give a shit about that kid. I could give a left nut. I can't wait until this is over. I'll never have to think of this kid again.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so Charles is like, "Are you gonna be fine without me?" And I tell you guys, go back and watch the scene where he's just like, "Yeah." Like, it's like the worst, like, half-baked, I didn't buy it for a second.
This is a whole movie, like, are you going to be alright without me? It's like you were part of any sort of action sequence where you've been saving dude's life the whole time or anything. He's been doing everything without you anyway. Like, your presence hasn't been any more help or less help to him at all.
Yeah.
At this point. That's why I just, like, glazed right over that, because I'm just like, that was just stupid. And I'm glad you pulled me back just so I could shit on it a little bit, and then we're going to keep going.
We have to shit on it, because it makes this movie seem, like, better than it is.
Because I'm like, I am kind of flying through this, because I really don't have much to say about it.
Yeah,
like, it's just not.
I'm just not feeling anything.
Yeah,
not feeling anything.
I'm not. The only thing I'm feeling is like disappointment.
Yeah.
Lackluster.
I think like halfway, like 45 minutes in, we don't know what's really going on, and there's this mystery and the cool train sequence. You know? There's like something, like there's enough of an intrigue going on, but then like, we unravel these like a candy wrapper, it's just shit.
Yeah, it's like
we're excited.
We get these like clues and like a trail to the candy, and we're all excited for this like cake at the end of it, but we get
the cake is a lie. The cake is a lie.
It's just like it's like eggs and batter and shit, all not even really mixed up well.
The ingredients for the cake is there.
It's not baked.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, I agree. So continuing, they're headed to the cemetery. They eventually get into the door of the garage and see a hole in the ground beneath the garage, like a big, huge hole. And Joe asks if Carrie has a sparkler, and he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And busts one from his stash, a whole bunch of different little fireworks that he has. It was like just sparklers. Like that's a kid who likes explosions of fire, just like sparklers are not that anything. Anyway, they toss it down the hole, and he sees it, how far it goes way down there, and Joe says Alice is down there. So, they're going to head down. Cuts to Jack and Alice's dad in the military Jeep he stole earlier, and Alice's dad apologizes about what happened to his wife.
Nothing.
You shouldn't have no reason. Yep. And Jack says it was an accident twice. And I don't know. Yeah, it was an accident. It
feels nothing there.
Because it shouldn't
even be a scene.
Yeah. And it goes to Joe and Carrie, and then, so that was the whole scene right there. And we go back to Joe and Carrie in the hole. They're creeping down a tunnel, and they walk into a large opening area, cavern thing, and see a bunch of lights and machinery with bodies hanging by their feet everywhere. And they see the beast eating a person. Joe sees Alice. I couldn't see shit, so I don't know how the fuck he saw Alice's head from across the way, but...
True love.
True love. Joe sees Alice, and so makes a plan with Carrie to distract the beast with the fireworks, make it loud and last. And he runs over to where Alice is, kind of general area, and he waits for Carrie to light off the fireworks to distract the monster. When the monster gets distracted by the fireworks, it puts Alice down, because I guess it was about to eat Alice. And Joe runs up and tries to wake Alice up. Tries nicely at first, and slaps the shit out of her. Kind of probably for me one of the best parts of the movie right there.
No, the best part of the movie is she gets up and slaps him.
Oh,
that'd be way cuter.
I missed that.
No, I'm saying that's what it should have been.
Oh, like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
that would have been great.
Or that was my first pitch, and then my second pitch is like, yeah, that monster just smacked you. That was weird.
Yeah, it's like he just sucked the shit out of you right away.
Yeah, but like how it is, it's like I forgot. Like they just kind of walk over.
Either way, yeah, that was way better than what the fuck happened.
We're rewriting this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, we're just gonna redo this while we're doing it.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Where am I? What are you doing? What are we doing here?" He's like, "I'm doing my best to try to save you. Your daddy told me you were, taken, and so I found you here." And then when some other lady starts talking, where am I? And it kind of scared me at first, like this other voice and shit just like popped out of nowhere, like legit, like.
I kind of wish you had gotten a little more with from this lady. I kind of like her just being like talking about some random bullshit.
Yeah, and like
crazy.
It just kind of random. I wish like we would have seen like, oh, that's the lady from the
from earlier,
like in the gas station that was like maybe getting a soda from like something in the background, not just some lady. There should have been just a little something.
It would have been funny if like she was doing this spiel like she was, and she got knocked out. And then, like, somehow she, like, gets dropped at the same time as Alice, but then, like, she gets woken back up, and she just finished what she was talking about earlier.
Even that would have been better than just nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Like, her just... And they... Like,
what's going on?
And they don't even give that joke, like, a full second to, like, be there. Like, they kind of just, like, brush her off immediately. Like, she's like, and then it's like, they look away.
And they look away, and then she shows back up a minute or two later, like, oh, no, they didn't get rid of that bitch. She's still there.
And then she gets gobbled, though.
Yep, she gets gobbled anyway. Yeah. She should have been. She was just, like, wandering around. He was like, oh, what's going on? You wake up in a situation like that, you better be on fucking tactical alert.
I'm gonna be,
like, stealth mode in cracks. Like, I'm gonna lay here and pretend like I'm dead and inspect what's going on around me, listen. Okay, I think it's clear. I'm gonna get up, crawl over here, lay down. Nothing happened, okay, I'm gonna get up, crawl over here, play down.
I'm immediately bashing my head into the metal shit. If I wake up in like a xenomorph pod or something, fuck that.
What's this liquid? I'm gonna drink it and probably
this is acid? Yeah, sure.
No. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, I'm gonna have a story to tell.
You name your first kid after me, you know what I mean? You remember me. I'm not making it up.
Alice starts to explain to her that, she was touched by this creature, and she was explaining that it was just terrified and hungry and wants to go home, and she knew it once it touched her and stuff like that. And then the sheriff comes out of nowhere and says, follow me.
You have no power here.
Just kind of like out of a nowhere thing. We didn't see him wake up or get startled. Like, he's just been hiding off in the corner waiting for some kids to come save him. Or like, oh no, kids, I have to go save. I'm going to pop out.
I think they woke him up. Because I remember they were like, oh, it's the sheriff.
Oh, maybe they were just waking up a few. Why are you going to choose the sheriff out of all people?
Well, he's just sitting there. He's sitting there right by him.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. They're just all in the same little bunch.
Nah.
Again, I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
This is kind of the first time we get to see it, right? The alien itself, like in any sort of light.
Other than on the bus.
No, but we get to see its face.
We saw it on the bus.
No, like we get this like zoom in, like bright pickle looking.
Yeah, on the bus with Nelly.
Maybe
Pretty sure.
I don't. I still unremarkable. I've already forgotten that I had seen it from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But anyhow, can we just talk about how unremarkable of a design this alien?
I thought we already did.
I know.
I was like,
just again, I don't know. It's just terrible.
It's just a giant, six-legged crustacean arachnid.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. The sheriff comes out of nowhere and says, follow me. They're running through the tunnels with a couple others that have woken up, or they woke up, something like that. And Carrie comes out of nowhere. The sheriff gets, just as that happens, the sheriff's getting snatched up by the monster, and that another lady. I think it was that, where am I, lady?
Yeah.
Rando. And Joe and Alice and Carrie run and get stuck at a dead end. And while Joe turns around and tries to talk to the beast, he gets snatched up, and in the beast's embrace explains he understands bad things that happen to you. And the beast gives him a look, but then the beast hears his machine thing in the background kicking on, puts Joe down, all kinds of nice, and then runs off to, check out the machine, I guess.
I hate it. Go fuck yourself. We've seen this thing, Genghis Khan slaughter people throughout this whole fucking movie.
Joe all nicely, didn't pick him up and squish him like a fucking banana and have his head pop off. No.
He all of a sudden he understands humanity and what makes it great.
He's like, this little guy, he's just trying to save his little girlfriend over there. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I fucking hate this. I hate every time you do this trope. I will fucking ridicule. I will burn it.
More out of this movie. When I said Super 8, I'm like, this is gonna be a good movie. Like, how can we go wrong? It just It's just not.
It went very wrong. It went very wrong. I
forgot what it was rated too. I got it written down here, but I can't wait to see it.
I think it's way higher.
I think it's way higher than it should be too. Yeah.
The fact that I kept thinking of Warcraft during this movie. I'm like, this movie is rated
so good,
so much better than this.
It's so good. I don't understand. Like, we're gonna do Warcraft one of these next few weeks coming up in the first.
He's popping in my mind, yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna do it because I want to actually break it down like we do and analyze it. There's just no way. Yeah. That movie did as bad as it did.
I might give it 100 out of spite. I might do it out of spite.
I'm gonna give it 100 just because I love it and I love World of Warcraft. And he gets put down and the thing runs off. So all of a sudden the three are back topside now on the street when everything metal is being lifted and flying through the air up towards the water tower. So like they go in this house out by the cemetery and they've been running through the whole town underneath the ground to where they're like toward the water tower again. It's like. The town has 12,000 people. That's a fairly decent size. I don't know. It's a lot of running through some towers for not to be daylight yet or anything. I don't know. Anyway, there just seems a little continuity error somewhere in there.
I mean, there's a lot of continuity.
Yeah, like if I tilt my head down just a little bit, nose runs. A trailer with a bunch of shit's flying towards this water tower. A trailer with a bunch of metal cubes opens up and flies towards the tower, like what they because we see the trailers going back into town. So what they position them in town just in case. So like, they trying to help the animal out. Like why was it not? Why were they not back at the base? Why were the trucks with the metal ship parts in town?
I got nothing. Okay. I don't like the cubes. I hate the cubes. I think
it'd be a cool artifact. Like they could have made this cool somehow, like a cool alien artifact. Woohoo! Whatever.
I think it'd be cool if the kids would have fucked around with it. And we would have been like, oh, that's what it is. Like, we would have found it out.
Or they took a hammer to it. They took a drill, a little montage of them in the garage with all their dad's shit trying to fuck with it. Yeah. Even, take one of their dad's spare guns and shoot it and, dodge a fucking, ricochet or something. Anything.
It would have been cool.
Don't do that, kids.
A fun little scene would have been, if they bring the dad in, but they don't let him see what he's fucking with or something. And
what's all this shit? What's all this noise going on?
Nothing. No. Okay, sure.
We're building a treehouse. We're building a soap derby car. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd been fun. Just something like that.
Yeah. Again, another great scene that we created there. That would have been way better than masters of their craft.
Yeah.
So all the metal cubes are flying up towards the water tower, and it's forming into some kind of structure on and around part of the water tower. Carrie asks, what's happening? And Joe says, it's making a model. That's just... It's making a model. Because they make model cars or model trains and stuff, too. It's making a model. It's making a model.
It's making a flying starship.
It's again, trying to connect, some part of the movie and again with this part. It's not doing it. You're not prestiging. Dude, you're trying to prestige, you're not prestiging.
Dude, it's kind of it's like you wrote this paper, but then you, read the specs of the paper.
Refer to my fucking thesis. Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's like that. Shit, I was supposed to have a reference at the beginning, and so they threw this thing in there when it has no relation at all.
Or it's it does, but it's just weak sauce. Just clear. I don't know. It falls flat on its face for me. I don't know if it's just because everything else at this point that led me to be meh at this, or if this was just shit. Either way, it's bad. So. It's he's making a model, and that's when Joe's dad pulls up in the Jeep with Alice's dad, and they all hug and reunited, and family back together. Who knows what the fuck happened with Carrie? He's just sitting there by himself. His parents are gone somewhere, and we see the creature climb up the tower into the structure that we now see is a ship, and it's powering up, and Joe feels his mom's necklace fly out of his pocket towards the ship. He catches it all of a sudden, and, he's holding on to it for a second before letting it go. It's supposed to be a very powerful little moment there.
I felt nothing.
I kind of felt nothing, too. I mean, I feel like it kind of did for a half a second. I felt like what I was supposed to be feeling, but it
and then the logical side of your brain comes in and beats the shit out of that little
emotional. I could have felt more attached to this thing. Because I didn't feel like letting it go was all I'd be yeah, good for you, buddy. Fuck yeah, you did it. It's just oh yeah, it's what are you supposed to do? It's a trope or something. Yeah, it's cliche. It's just fuck that. The ship takes off, and everyone's all stopped watching it, just in the streets where all these people just show up out of nowhere in the streets. And except for the clerk dude who's still passed out, still in the car, like, get over that, please. It's not funny. I didn't laugh. Did you laugh?
No.
I doubt anybody really laughed. Like, oh, he's still passed out of the car. Look at him, guy. No, I smoke weed all the fucking time. You don't get that tired. Oh, I mean, maybe some indicas you could. But, like, not back then. Anyway.
Especially when shit's going down.
You'd be a little calm.
You're probably paranoid as all hell.
You'd be too paranoid to sleep.
yeah, you'd be up.
Cops and military around everywhere. Fuck that. No. Anyway. So he still passed on the car, and then we see Alice and Joel are holding hands with their fathers as they all watch the light from the ship disappear with one last J.J. Abrams lens flare to end the movie. Fucking end it with a lens flare. That's real solid wrap up there, boys. And then closing credits, we see the movie that Charles was making the whole time, and we see all the little scenes that they were filming all put together and set up for the show. And that was actually kind of great. Out of the whole movie, the best part of the movie was the movie they were making inside the movie that we get to see at the very end of the movie.
It was cute.
I liked it.
I
enjoyed it. I will say I enjoyed the fuck out of that. I had a good time. Could somebody not have to hit their gas so hard? Oh, got a big truck, little dick? Yep. Big Jeep, little dick. Okay. Yeah. And that's the end.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Awful. This movie sucks. I've never begrudged a movie. Like I may not love the Joker, but I there's a lot of stuff I can still like out of that. I can get entertainment out of. This movie I really wouldn't want to show anybody. I have no interest to watch this movie ever again.
Especially
I have no interest
with who's involved in it, like J.J. Abrams and fucking
Steven Spielberg.
I wouldn't want to tell him, like, oh, Steven Spielberg's so great. J.J. Abrams does big things. Oh, this movie's super great. Check it out. No, dude. You just be like, avoid that. Don't use that as an example of their work, please.
Yeah.
So what did Abrams even do that was, like, mind-blowing?
Star Trek. Cloverfield. The first one.
I need to watch the first one again.
I
heard it was all dark. We should do that. Put that on the list. Oh no, yeah, we have to have like.
But the first Star Trek is awesome. I like Force Awakens too. I think
that's Star Trek fan. Really good. I liked it. So okay, yeah.
Steven Spielberg speaks for himself.
Yeah,
he's done a billion amazing films.
Right, he co-produced on this.
No, they do that all the time.
So, like, it wasn't on him.
But yeah, to me, I wrote down this time, I was prepared this time, about what specifically I don't like. I think the ending's garbage. I didn't really care for it. I felt nothing. Garbage. The dead mom, Alice's dad getting blamed for it, go fuck itself. It sucks. Not a good connection at all. It just makes zero sense. Are we supposed to like this alien, or is he John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah,
until you answer that question, movie, I'm docking you for it.
Mm-hmm.
The cubes, a lot of screen time. We see the army packing them up. We see the cube moving in the background. The cube goes through the wall.
Yeah.
Cube.
But
and
it didn't. The alien got home.
Yeah. Whoop-de fucking do. I didn't need a fucking little.
E.T.'s phone home.
He should have just had a spaceship. I don't know. The cubes were just. For as much screen time as they had,
the thing that it becomes a ship, or like at least like the fuselage of it and the outside shell.
I just feel like they should have done more with the cube. They were going to give them so much screen time. I really thought they were going to be more important.
I'm going to get like a transformer kind of vehicle thing. I don't know.
Something, anything. And then the train crash. The way it happened, Woodward surviving.
Yeah, that was pretty trash.
It's garbage. None of them were injured. The car's perfectly fine. The car can drive perfectly out without getting a flat tire or getting hit at all.
I think. Yeah, there was debris all around the vehicle, I think I remember seeing. So, like, you didn't drive over nothing sharp? No sharp metal?
Yeah.
Debris? Okay.
But, so those are just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's even more if I really would have.
I thought you said you wrote them down.
No. I did write them down.
They're off the top written down. Okay.
Well, just like if I could have thought of even more. You used a whole piece of paper.
A tree right now weeps in the Amazon.
You think I give a fuck? We're already boned.
We got UFOs going on.
Yeah, we got bigger shit to fry, Like, we're already so boned.
I thought it was supposed to be like, my thoughts on it were like, this seems like this generation was supposed to be their coming of age, kind of a semi-horror flick action thing. Like, it was trying to be It from back in the day, the way they shot it and everything. I was just kind of supposed to have that feel for it, but it didn't. It was just kind of like the played out small town Ohio mystery thing, you know? And it's just like, they didn't do it as well as any other ones that they've done. You know,
would you rather watch these kids or watch any of those other kids?
Any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the 80s and watch them all day. Like, I'll even watch the new It over this one. Like,
I think you're giving the new It too much shit. I'm not saying it's amazing.
I didn't say, no, I mean,
the kids are cool.
I'm not saying it's great.
I like the kids
I'm an
way more
OG
than these kids.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I watched that shit back in the day originally.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know. It's just, I think it was trying to be that memorable big thing, but it wasn't. It didn't.
It's like a thing that's trying to be the next big thing, but it has no personality of its own. Yeah. And it takes no risks.
It's trying to take these cook-cutter common tropes, piece them together smoothly and
make it look really cool.
Make it look real nice. The whole thing's shot visually stunning. Like,
all panache and no style.
Yeah, there's a lot of glitter and glitz, but no fucking like actual memorable content that we want to like relive again and again with our children, our families, friends, by ourselves, with our cats. Nothing.
Again, I think that's the most insulting thing you can ever say about a movie. That I don't want to.
I'm like, I feel bad for saying it now.
No,
but
it deserves it. It deserves it.
I'm gonna tell it like it is. You know?
And it's not saying that everybody. Like, I think there's good actors in this movie for sure. Like
good
Alice,
scenes and fucking great performances here and there. But it's just like,
but you got to call it how you
piece it all together as a whole. It's not. It doesn't. The picture isn't great.
Again, we're doing a post-mortem. We gotta see. We gotta say it how it is. We're not gonna say here and. Even if, like, you know, one of the other, like, you know, I didn't like the Joker, and I shit on that as much as I thought was necessary. You know, that's just how we're going to have to do it, you know?
Like, I hear you. No.
But, yeah, this movie, I think it's just a disappointment from every way you cut it.
Disappointing would be, like, the label I put on it. Just, like, a whole lot of, and I see what you're trying to do, but you just didn't.
And the fact that it came from J.J. Abrams makes it even kind of more insulting. Because you like, if it was somebody's first big movie, you could maybe see it. But this is J.J. had already done Cloverfield, Star Trek at this point.
And Spielberg being in the building, like, you don't think he would have been like, you know, coming to the office and be like, hey, bro, let's talk about this.
Have you ever thought about rewriting this? Or,
yeah. Like, I just feel like, he wrote it and directed it. You know, wrote and produced it. Like, you wrote this, like, you just watched a few movies and just kind of put these little ideas together and twisted some things and thought you were going to have some epic masterpiece. So, like, okay, I'm going to do little parts from all these movies, put it together.
All these movies I did.
And then I'm going to just lens flare the fuck out of it, and it's going to be a fucking hit, dog.
It's like they had a bunch of cocaine. They're like, dude, what if we did all of your movies in the one, and I do my lens flares to make it look cool?
Sobering up a day or two afterward, they just do some more the next morning, and they're like, yep, no, we said yes. You know, the guy that pitched it to, they're like, here, try some of this first. Okay, now we're gonna pitch this to you. And they're like, all zinged up, yeah! Let's go. So, yeah, questions, concerns, I think we already kind of went over a lot of that aspect of it. Like, my question was, though, did they win the festival?
Yeah, and we never find out. Yeah. You know what's funny? It took me until the second time of watching this movie to figure out what Super 8 even fucking...
Oh, yeah. So Super 8's, you know, the Super 8 Film Festival.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, just how they do. Like, in that little ending, after they show the movie being all pieced together, they could have shown, like, a little... After the festival thing, like, with a trophy sitting there.
Yeah, that'd been cool. Like a ribbon.
A ribbon, or, you know, them all crying, you know, at a diner that was supposed to, you know, I don't know.
Maybe like a little touching scene between Jack and Joe, you know, like, what he finally sees the value of his kids.
He's sitting there watching the movie with the children and just, like, laughing or, like, enjoying himself. Yeah. Like, damn, this is what you kids are doing? All right. Damn.
Finally getting it. Yeah.
So, okay, we're totally doing missed scenes. From now on, make sure we get shit like this because I like that. I like that in there. So,
how would we fix it?
So we were talking about the one missed scene earlier, and we talked about that one. I like both of those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, actors and actresses.
We got most valuable actor. Right?
Oh yeah, MVP. Whatever.
I'm gonna say Alice. I think Alice crushed. And she may have not been later on because she gets kidnapped, but I'm not even gonna hold it against her because like everything else he touches is just straight gold and
just beyond just an actor in their little movie, an actor in the movie that we watched. It's just like she just kills it on every level, and you can see it in her performance. Just like she's acting to act in their movie, but acting to act in our movie. It's just.
It's a Tropic Thunder level.
Had to go through, but it's just like bravo for you, lady. Like I hope you have a promising career because you are definitely showing great things now.
Yeah, so. I'm an actress pretending to be another actress.
But she does so flawlessly well. I really like her performance. Excellent. I can't probably be one of those stars I'll look out for. Like, oh, she was in that one movie. I'm gonna check this out. Like the little chick in all those Netflix movies and shit like that. She's a little badass thug too. Yeah. She's in all those things. She thugs it up. And that he's kind of older now, but he was from the Netflix show. Like I don't know. I like seeing some of these. Like I know there's gonna be a good performance if I see them. And this lady's gonna be one of those for sure.
And then side actor, little part. I think I give it to the dad. I really like the dad cop. I like a lot of his scenes of him like investigating and like some of the emotion he shows on his face and stuff.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
I think they give him a lot of bullshit cartoony stuff to do, but like his acting is really good.
What he has to act sucks, but what he does, his acting is good. Yeah.
I like him as this like the old small town sheriff cop dad.
Yeah, he does. He does it all good. Yeah. He does pretty well with it. I think he does convey a lot in his face and emotions and shit like that. I remember seeing a few parts that stick out in my head that like he just really can show and convey emotions. I should have pointed him out while we're
I think he's in a bunch of stuff.
I've seen him.
He's in like Friday Night Lights. I think he's the head coach, and then
I forgot. I've seen him in quite a few.
He's
things.
In the Dark Knight Rises. He's in tons of stuff.
So, I don't. Sad performance and shit. It's like I really liked his buddy,
Chubby Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
I'm chubby too. Before you guys start right now,
I'm a fat fuck.
Yeah, so
we're
all it's a spade calling a spade.
I mean, I'm a fat fuck that I can still do push-ups and stuff though.
It's still impressive,
Except for I pulled a fat roll a couple days ago, so I haven't done push-ups in like 2 days.
Yeah,
it hurts really bad, and I try to like power through it. I'm like, I'm just gonna hurt it worse, so I'm just taking a couple days.
Yeah, let it heal.
It sucks because I was like starting to get good at him. Anyway, yeah. So Charles he killed it. With just kind of his, not so much his performance as an actor, I'd say, just like the character himself. I think I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Just because it reminds me of myself a little bit, I'm guessing. That's pretty much all I have for that. Like, for a side character. I didn't really have any favorite quotes down.
Nothing.
Yeah, I was just like, I even have, not sure. Do you have any? It's like I have it in the notes. Like, not sure. I don't.
No, I
have no quotes.
I'm not even gonna do a joke or like I said.
Yeah, I was gonna try to think like.
I'm not even.
Carrie's the only one that's like, do I? Or whatever. I don't even know the quote he says, but when it comes to the fireworks, it's like the only like quotable moment I can think of.
Yeah.
And if I want to do the whole scene of that chick's performance and that thing, maybe that. Like that whole little scene would have been the best, but I don't have like a specific quote. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, I did add it. Scenes that I would like to have seen. The ones we already talked about, then okay, 6 months after the end of the movie where they're all hanging out, one of the houses with an award from the film festival on the wall or something. The news talking in the background about the revelation of alien life or something maybe. Charles explaining the plot and cast of a new project and crew. And Alice and Joe sitting on the couch, holding hands or something like that. Just something just to kind of bring it all, finish it all off and back together. And then, the ones we talked about as well. Any fun facts? None. I had a couple I put in here just because I thought it was a little interesting.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams initially conceived Super 8 by combining two distinct ideas. One about kids making a movie during the 1970s and another focused on a large-scale alien invasion. He kind of failed on both.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is. You try to combine two things, you think you make something dope new, but you end up making nothing that's, just shit.
Yeah.
The concept began when Abrams thought of a scene featuring a factory accident free sign, which later grew into a more complex storyline. He ultimately merged the two ideas. And so, you started with the idea of the factory accident, and you fuck it up by not having, the guy directly associated with it?
Yeah. That's
in your
wild
story?
that's the idea that everything else is
I'm going to put a
built on.
degree of separation in there and make it a little more... what? No! Like, I don't know what the fuck you're going with that. He ultimately merged the two ideas, feeling that the kids' movie concept alone might not draw enough attention from the audiences. Which is like, see, again, trying to make it a kids' movie, but it wasn't, and it's just...
It's confused.
It didn't... Yeah, it's confused. It's a good, best way to put it. Abrams collaborated with Steven Spielberg and others to develop the plot, which...
Shocking.
Yeah, like, what, Steven's assistant or something? And you're just going to call it Steven Spielberg? I don't know. Despite early speculation that Super 8 was connected to Abrams' 2008 film Cloverfield, he quickly denied the rumor, clarifying that Super 8 was its own standalone project. Like, a monster movie. That's all. To cast the film's lead roles, Abrams held a national talent search to find fresh faces for the young characters. Joel Courtney, who had initially auditioned for a commercial, was chosen because Abrams saw something different in it. Riley Griffiths secured his role by submitting a self-taped audition. That's pretty much all I had for little fun facts. All right, ratings time. What is your rating?
I give it a 30.
So I had it much higher, but after breaking it down, talking with you, and like reflecting on it for a little